Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are live, episode 67, featuring the beautiful Kenya Eugene, singer, songwriter, model. I mean, the list goes on, but I go stop there because I don't want to talk too much and then chase all the viewers away. But we have the beautiful Carry on today, making her debut. Her guest host debut. So,
I
Karen, how
know,
you
right?
doing? Yeah.
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm surviving. I'm really, really excited about this episode. Reason being is just because this is like my classmate. This is somebody I know since elementary school, from since wherever grade, kindergarten, first grade, or something. Just so that's a show whole line. So I'm very excited.
Me too, man. I met Kenya, I believe, for the first time at Complex. But when I saw her, I was like, she looked like she should be a model for sure. Model or actress or something up there. So it's
Yeah,
good to see that she fulfilled her calling.
that's true. That's true. That's true.
Yep.
So it's definitely gonna be a good episode. But how you doing? How you doing? How has your week been? How's the family? How everybody is. I know you're down on the west side, Sacramento. So how's the weather over there?
Yeah, man, I'm doing great. The weather is good. It's starting to warm up, so we're getting to that point where we could be outside more and do a lot more activities outside. So can't complain. Family's doing good. Everybody's safe. Everybody's well. Yep. Thanks for asking.
Oh, no problem. No problem. You're welcome. And that's it. Nothing else going on.
Other than work, no. You know, I just stay busy working pretty much. Working, being a mom, being a wife. That's it. How about you? I know Orlando got to be hot because California hot.
Uh, I want to say the last 2 days was hot. I can't. Yeah, today was kind of hot too, but the last 2 days was pretty hot. It was and kind of humid as well too. So
Yeah, I
but
can't do that humidity.
yeah,
Mm-mm.
that's the worst part about flight is the humidity, but everything else is pretty good. You
Trust
know,
me, I know. Every time I come Florida, as soon as I step off the airport, I drenched in sweat. 10 seconds, that's it. So I know
that's the
all about that
worst.
humidity. I can't do it in the sun.
Yeah, that's the worst. That's the worst. That's the worst feeling.
Yep.
Um, Tomorrow we have Senator Winnica coming on tomorrow, 7 p.m. We have another Monday episode, Monday show. So Senator Whitaker, she will be on tomorrow, 7 p.m. as well. I will be posting the announcement on Facebook after the show tonight. So you guys definitely look out for that as well too. Shout out to all the viewers tapping in, tuning in. I see our Rika, big up. You know, we have a Facebook user. Hello, hello, hello. That's Andre. Andre, big up Andre. Much love. So I'll go right into the shout outs and we'll talk about the previous episode and we'll definitely bring in, Kenya.
All right.
So this is just, we always do the shout outs, every episode, just bigging up all the VI people and that's doing, the different business thing and stuff. So I just want to, salute them and, bring awareness and hope everybody supports and check it out. So we got our legends340.com. We got Savory Eats LLC. We got meltingpotcookingclass.com. Also follow on Instagram at the Melting Pot Cooking Class. We got Siboney Caribbean Restaurant. We got Next Level Up Printing. We got Calypso Clothing LLC, also calypsoclothing.com. We got Hungry Hearts Hustle Apparel.com. Also follow on Instagram at Hungry Hearts Hustle. We got Island Time Grill.com. We got Coach Tiga 41 workout videos, and that's on Patreon. So you guys definitely check that out. We got CaribbeanGirlsRock.com. Also follow on Facebook, Caribbean Girls Rock, and also on Instagram at official Caribbean Girls Rock IG. Also, we got meltedbycroy.com. Also follow on Facebook and Instagram, Melted by Croy. We also got Rico Coneri. You guys check out his website, www.lulu.com/spotlight/R Canero. We got Midnight Entertainment. Follow on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok at The Real Midnight. Also on Facebook at Real Midnight ENT. Also, we got follow on Facebook, City of Refuge Worship Center, the live stream every Sunday, 10 a.m. We got The Good Life Apparel. We have AIM Credit Repair LLC. Follow on Facebook, Livewire Sports, C Boogie Talks Thursdays 8 p.m. Christopher Henry changed his time to 8 p.m., not 9 p.m. So it's gonna be 8 p.m. Thursdays. C Boogie Talks. Make sure you guys check him out. Make sure you guys support him. He always got good content, dope dialogue with his guests. Them. So you guys definitely check that out. We got the Brand LLC website www.brandnewhomes.com. We got On the Edge Performance LLC. We got follow on Instagram, Facebook at Dexter_Sinister_exclusive. It's clothing line unapologetic. You guys check that out. We got Apollo Legion, Paris Enterprise, Brightway Service Station, Bubbles Promotion. We have Larisha Starbrough with Stars Eats and Treats. She has a food sale coming up this Friday, Good Friday. So she has a sale coming up. Also, Tegan Book, Mentality of a Pro, website www.kevincoachtshepard.com as well too. So you guys definitely check out the website support. We got Nona Enviro Group, website is www.environona.com. Also, Savory Eats LLC, Sheena Fantine, she also has a food sale coming up this Friday as well too. Good Friday, so they have food sales, so you guys could check out their check out their Facebook and their contact and see what they got. If you're in the Orlando area, outskirts of Orlando, you guys could definitely check that out. Shout out to all the viewers tuning in to support Kenya Eugene and her episodes. So I appreciate everybody tuning in. Hope everybody doing well.
It sounds like your list got longer, my son.
Yeah, it's getting longer, so
yeah.
But that's for sure. A lot of people doing big things, people doing big things.
Exactly. Keep representing VI. I wish I was in Orlando, man. Those food sales, boy. Good Friday coming up, so we get duck and saltfish.
That's what it sounds like. That sounds good.
Somebody ship me a plate.
They'll have to freeze it and ship it to you.
There you go. Freeze it, put it in a freezer bag, ship it express. Trust me, sometimes I get the same day. If you do it early morning, because we're 3 hours behind, I would get the same day.
All right, so you guys hear that? Huh? You got to make the connection. You got to contact them.
Hey, you in Orlando, hook it up.
I promote their page. You gotta go on their page. That's how we doing it. So we had our previous guest. Anonymous. I think I pronounced that word wrong every time, but I think I like
Anonymous.
We have West Girl Ambassador Brittany Dawson. She was on last episode. Great episode. I know you catch some of the episode.
Yeah, I did. Her episode was good, man. I learned a lot about West Girl. I always see the posts on Facebook, but I didn't really know too much about them as an organization. So it's really good to see that, they're active in the VI and things like that. So, and hearing her story about being a midwife, I think she's the first midwife that I've ever seen in the Virgin Islands. So that was excellent to see, so proud of her. And yeah, her story was good. It was a good episode.
Yeah, her shout out to Brittany Dawson, shout out to West Girl for giving us the opportunity and making that happen on the platform. Her episode was good. Getting a chance to really know about her, what she do. I know you touched on her being a midwife. How everything kind of fall into play with her becoming a midwife, being the only one on the island and all the work that she's doing, trying to, extend that midwife and have more people on the island become a midwife and, water birth and all that stuff we talked about. So her episode was good, her touching on her dad, the importance of how important her dad was. And she touched a lot about her mom and the inspiration her mom was coming from Tennessee to St. Croix and that, and all that. So that was pretty dope to hear that. And also learn more about West Y'all, the brand and how it came about and how the name, and learning about the different pins and about the shirt and everything. I know they want to do poetry night and they're doing poetry nights and all that stuff. So it's a dope concept. And it was good just to get that information to kind of have a better understanding about the West Girl. There is 2 of them and they're anonymous. You can't really see them or, etc. So that's pretty dope as well too. So
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
definitely a dope episode, man, and definitely big up to the West Girl and the whole crew on what you guys doing. Hopefully, we could get more of your ambassadors on the platform, and they could share their story individually, and we could learn more about them.
Yeah, that would be good.
So but we are here. We are here. Episode. Good evening, Persha. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening to everybody tuning in. I appreciate you guys
Hi, Persha.
taking time out of your busy schedule to support Kenya and her episode. This is definitely gonna be a dope episode. We have. I think this is our. If I'm not mistaken, we're 67 episodes in. This might be our first musician or first singer. I'm not sure, but it's been so much that I've lost track. But this is gonna be dope. So, I appreciate you guys tuning in. You know, our future guest is Kenya Eugene. Um, amazing person. This is someone I've known for a very long time. We've been in class together since elementary, so I just can't wait to hear her story. This is gonna be very fun and interesting. And for all the viewers that's tuning in, the Elite Podcast, we just here to bring awareness. To save our history and the Virgin Islands. I know we started out as a sports podcast, but we are branched off to different areas as well too. We definitely showing love to anybody. It's not about accomplishments and achievements. This is just about life and everyone sharing a story. You can always save a life. Just expressing your story and teaching the community and the VI about what you do. And it's just spreading the word. Each one teach one. So if anybody have an interesting story and they want to share it, they're more than welcome to come on the podcast. I was gonna say that. Just so those don't feel it's for certain individuals. We not operating like that or anything like that. We here for the history of the Virgin Islands, and we just gonna play our part. Same way like how West Girl playing their part. Same way like how Live Wire Sports playing their part, and the same as C Boogie and all the other people them that's doing their thing in the radio station and podcasts and stuff like that. We're gonna do our part, and we could all work together and just help the VI. So that's where we at. So
That's true. That's true. And you never know, you never know who your story could inspire. Even if you think your story ain't interesting, because I know people think that way, like, my story ain't that good. You just never know. You know, you could always inspire somebody with your experience. So don't be shy.
yeah, don't be shy.
Yep.
So go ahead, Karen. You got this. You get you we we got our
I gotta
future
do the
guest.
intro. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I am honored to introduce Kenya Eugene, the talented singer, actor, songwriter. I was fortunate to meet her for the first time going to Complex. So we went to the same high school. And she has a voice like an angel. She's very talented. So I know you guys are going to enjoy her story. So, Kenya Eugene, welcome to the Elite Podcast.
Hey, hey.
Hey. Good
Hey.
evening, good afternoon, good night.
Good evening. Yes, good evening.
Good evening. It's afternoon for me. We're 3 hours behind.
Yeah.
So what's up?
I am good. Just here trying to recover from the show that we had in St. Thomas. So, but I'm good. I'm doing well. We had a benefit, well, not really a benefit concert, but I put on an event, a mental health awareness event on St. Croix on February 13th, and then we did it again on St. Thomas on March 20th. And then after that, I had to travel back to Georgia. So it's kind of been a lot going on, kind of hectic, and I still ain't unpack my bags yet,
Wow.
But I'm doing as best as I can. So I'm doing good.
Good. Still look great as ever. You look like you didn't even eat since high school, man. What's your secret?
Oh no, veganism, water.
Water is life.
Yep.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of water.
Water is life.
Facts.
How was the show? How was the show? Mental illness was been a topic on our show lately. So I think we saw Persha. She deals with that as well too.
Okay.
So how was that? How was that show?
It was a wonderful event. Like the one that we did on St. Croix, some of the speakers were not able to attend at the kind of like the 11th hour. So most of the presentation was done by Beautiful Dreamers. I did the event in conjunction with Beautiful Dreamers. And so we had speakers from Beautiful Dreamers. And then for entertainment, it was Francilia Benjamin and myself. And then we took it to St. Thomas. On St. Thomas, the entertainment was myself, Francilia Benjamin, and Dub Lab out of St. Thomas. Some of the speakers we had were from Beautiful Dreamers. We had a representative from Department of Mental Health, and then we had a representative from MCH, Maternal Child Health. Our speaker, I believe from Family Resource Center, was not able to make it, but we had some wonderful speakers and they were offering some tips and coping mechanisms and how to deal with depression, anxiety, recognizing the signs, stuff like that. And so I was careful to make sure that we incorporated it in a way as such is as if even if you came late, you got a little bit of everything. So you know how some people would assume that all the talking would be up to the front and then the entertainment would be way to the end of the show. I did it in a way so that we could all benefit from it. So we had a DJ, we had speaking, and then we had entertainment, and then we had speaking, and then we had entertainment, you know? So I kind of did it that way so that everybody got a piece of everything.
That's good. You mix it up, so they have to stay and listen, right? They can't
Yes.
just come for the show. Good. That was good. That was good.
And so Beautiful Dreamers is a behavioral and educational center where they service from children up to adulthood with whatever issues you may have. So they have, I'm not sure if I should say, they have licensed therapists and people who are licensed in that field to take care of that. So, and you know, I'm learning that you have to be very, very careful with the verbiage that you use with regards to that, because therapists and psychologists and psychiatrists is three different things. And a psychologist or a psychiatrist might be offended if you call a therapist a psychologist. You know what I mean? So it's one of the lessons that I learned during this venture. And so I'll just say we had licensed professionals there speaking on our behalf and just informing the community as to how to take care of yourself, just teaching us, you know, equipping us with some tools and coping mechanisms, which was really awesome because a lot of people received it well. So yeah.
That's good. That's good to hear. So is Little Dreamer, is it Beautiful Dreamers?
Beautiful Dreamers, yes.
Are they based in St. Croix or is it?
They are based in St. Thomas, yes,
Okay.
but they also do work with clients in St. Croix and in Georgia. So it's not just like, you know, you walk into the office in St. Thomas. They also do it virtually too. So you could get counseling online through a secure link. So, yeah, that's what I really like about them.
Yeah.
How was the crowd and the support for the event?
So because we had we had very strict rules that we had to follow, as y'all know, with the, you know, the whole COVID and everything. So we had to keep our guests at 100 max. And a lot of that included also people that took part in the show. So we had to count the speakers, count the band members, myself, anybody that took part in it, the vendors, everybody had to be counted in that 100. So what we did to manage the crowd to make sure we didn't have too much people was we did an RSVP list through Eventbrite. And because it was for the community, and we didn't want to turn anybody away per se. I need the charger. And because we didn't want to turn anybody away per se, we decided to just filter people in. So as somebody left, you would let somebody else come in. If two people left, you let two people come in, you know? And so that's how we did it. We had a really good turnout for both events. Everybody.
So far, it's some great information. That's awesome that they did that. Hopefully
Yeah,
they can
definitely.
raise more awareness, you know, for the public so they got more understanding. So, you know, that's
Yeah.
great.
Mental health is something that's being discussed more and more these days. If I feel like COVID kind of brought that out a little more, you know, and there are a lot more shows and events that they're having now regarding mental awareness and all that. So it's very good to see,
Yeah, yeah,
and
it's
that's very
definitely good to see.
important.
Yeah, mental it is so many people suffer from
My
mental
bad,
health.
guys.
Oh no, you good, you good, you
All
good.
right.
We could hear you, but we can't see you.
Hold on, I'm coming now. Okay,
Okay,
you can see me?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
The
yeah,
We see
yeah.
computer
you now.
went dead on me. My bad.
No, you good. Don't worry about that. This
No
that's what we love
problem.
about this this our podcast is just organic. You could say it's a vegan podcast, pretty much.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, we don't edit anything out or anything.
It's
We just
real.
flow.
It's just
Yeah,
real.
It's
yeah,
real
it's real.
authentic.
Yeah,
You get what you see. You
yeah, you
just see
get
what
what you
you get.
say. Yeah, there's no perfection here. So
Shoot.
yeah.
Well, my bad. My computer it cut off on me. It gave me like a 2-second warning, like your battery is low, and then it just went black.
It went blank.
Oh wow.
But the event was really awesome. We were able to manage the crowd, and then we also at the entrance we had a sanitizing station which was provided or sponsored by Cultured Naturals out of St. Croix. And then we also had someone at the front doing temperature checks, and everybody was required to wear their mask to the event. Also, in order to get in, period, you had to wear a mask or have a mask. Um, and that's what it was. Everybody came out. We had some chairs that we provided, and we separated everybody. So it was like in groups of twos, or if you came in a group of three, then you sat with your party that you came with. And so we were able to space everybody out and just let them free up and have a good time. So the St. Thomas show was great, but St. Croix show was great. St. Thomas show was lit. I don't know what, I don't know what, but they were turn up and St. Thomas. And the great thing about the two shows was that I was able to share my new material at both shows. So a lot of folks don't know what I actually have bubbling or what's coming or what's in the works. But if you were at the event, you were able to get taste of some of the new material. So that was pretty fun. It was a surprise for a lot of people in the audience because most people know Kenya for R&B music, love songs, and one or two lovers rock songs. Aside from that, they don't know the other side, the Gemini. And so with doing this event, I gave them kind of a prelude into what my new up and coming album is going to be like. So I had some hardcore reggae in there. Actually, your girl been chanting Mumba.
Yeah, you just you said just
What?
you gonna give us
Set
something
myself
you
up.
gonna give us something live today then, right?
No.
What? Give us the
Hey,
exclusive.
You go buy the album when it come out to support so you could hear it. But
uh,
I could give
I tried it, Arika. I
I could
tried.
give you on the side Mumba in the back room.
I got you. I got you. I got you.
I was gonna say, give the viewers a little taste so they will want to buy the
No,
album.
me want to ruin a surprise.
We
But
offer
they
two. We offer two. Persian
actually,
and you.
right? Actually, right, they have gotten a taste already because some of my new material is already out. So I have Inner Light, where I featured my sister Desiree on there. That's a taste of the new things to come. And then I also had Always Love You is one of the other songs that I released. I released that right before Inner Light. And I did a video for that too. So that they got a little, a prelude into what's going on.
Okay.
So, it turned out it turned out pretty cool. It was really good. Um, so we'll see. Hopefully you guys, if I could hang on till at least a little bit into the summer. I ain't trying to give no dates because, stuff that happen and then dates gotta get pushed back or whatnot. But the aim is to have the album out in the summertime.
Okay. Some of the viewers say they saw your show on Facebook. So I think some
Yeah,
people went live.
they get to see it. A lot of people in the audience and they on Facebook Live. So, in fact, the whole show for St. Thomas and St. Croix is on live. So, if you want to get a little prelude as to what's to come, just go on my Facebook page or just search on Facebook. You will see it.
Nice, nice, nice.
Yeah, there you go.
So Kenya, let us know about you, Kenya. Where you from, where you grew up at, and
Well,
we go from there.
born in St. Croix, West Girl for life. Um, I don't think I ever lived east as a straight West girl. Um, St. Lucian parents, so I have some St. Lucian background there, so that I speak patois, a little bit of Spanish. Um, Singer, songwriter, model, mommy, wife. What else? I love to talk a lot of nonsense. I'm a very fun person to be around. I love to cook. I am vegan. I am all for health and talking about health and promoting health on a whole, as a whole person, not just you know,
Yeah,
physical
yeah,
health,
stuff.
but
Yeah.
mental health and also self-love. Um, I started singing when I was about 4 years old, and yeah, I think that's most of it. I made my first debut as a singer in Head Start. I
Wow.
told my teacher I wanted to be a superstar. And I had one of my older sisters bring them on a radio and a cassette. And I sang along to one of my favorite songs when I was young. Don't ask me the lyrics now because I can't remember. But it was Dear Mr. Jesus or something like that. And that was my first performance. And after that, I have just been singing. Um, I don't know if I knew how well I could sing back then. I just knew that I had love to do it. Um, but I think that's about it. I mean, I've been acting, singing, modeling.
We got
Let's see. Let me see. I also right now I have a song on Netflix.
mm,
Um, that is in a movie. It's called No Regrets. It's on the soundtrack for No Regrets. So if you go on Netflix and you look up that movie, you will hear You Are My World, which is one of my most popular songs right now. Um, I'm also working on getting some other music, but those are ballads. I'm working on getting those onto some big screen movies. So hopefully, fingers crossed, um, we get some good results before the year is up. As an actress, I have done work on Greenleaf, The Resident, The Gifted, no, Gifted, um, The Life Story of Bobby Brown, and a couple other things. I can't remember all the names
Wow.
off the top of my head, but I know on The Gifted, I had a reoccurring role where I got to go back. I was working for like months with them, so that was pretty awesome. Um, what else? There's a lot. You gotta ask me.
I know I was waiting for you
we
to pause so I could throw in a question in there somewhere.
we definitely gonna get into it, but we have our host here as well too, Stephen, the legend Pang Haj. So definitely um big up to Pang. Pang, what good?
Hi there, man. Good night to everybody, man. Sorry I'm late.
Don't apologize. That's the usual.
Hey. Easy, carry and easy.
Easy.
Hey, Des.
It's all love. It's all love, man.
Yeah, man. Shout
Ashes
out to
to
all
the
the viewers. My bad, Pang. Sorry. Shout out to all the
no,
viewers. Definitely shout out to all the viewers.
yes, sir,
Definitely.
yes, sir. I was watching while I was getting ready, man. I had to take me a quick shower. Been out in the yard, so I had to finish up what I doing.
Okay.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, man. You got good.
So,
All good.
Kenya,
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to take you back just a little bit. So, you mentioned that you started singing in Head Start, but I wanted to know, like, what was your motivation to want to be a singer? Like,
I
what
have
inspired
no idea. I have no idea. I just knew that music was always a big part of my life. My dad, my musical talents came from my dad. He used to always play a lot of music around the house. He was always singing. And so it was just a part of my life. And I knew that I liked to sing. I didn't even remember telling my Head Start teacher that. It was actually at a performance when I was in high school. I performed for a nonprofit organization, and Miss Weeks, my Head Start teacher, walked up to me with tears in her eyes, and she was like, "You did it." And I'm wondering, who is this person? And she's like, "You did it. You told me when you were in my class, when you were Head Start, you told me that you wanted to be a superstar. You wanted to be a singer, and this is what you were going to do. And here I am. I showed up at this event not knowing that you were going to be performing, and I'm seeing you here doing what you said you were going to do." So that was like a real shocker for me, but I was so happy because I was like, wow, so I knew what I wanted to do since then, you know.
Mm.
So
Wow.
it's not something that I was like, oh, my father is a singer, or somebody's a singer and I looked up to them. It was just in me. It's just something that I had loved to do. And mind you, like I said, I didn't know if I had sung good. Like I didn't know, you know, I didn't know what I sounded like. I just knew that I liked to sing, and that was it. Yeah.
Can
So it was,
growing up, Ken, you made a post the other day. I want to say I can't remember, a few weeks ago, maybe,
Mhm.
and it was heart touching. How and I think you might know what I'm getting at when I ask you the question. How was it like for you growing up and St. Croix, which your parents being from St. Lucia? And the reason I'm asking that is just because when I was growing up as a kid and St. Croix is pertaining to your post,
Mhm.
when kids' families or a kid was born in like Dominica or Antigua or some of the certain Down Islands, they had like a different accent, and then we as kids we would make fun of those individual, you know, and
Mhm.
for us it's like it's just regular stuff, but sometimes we don't know how we actually making that person feel
Yeah.
because we don't know how they feel. And you made a post, and when you made it, I was like, man, that's true, and it really really touched my heart. So I want to hear. I want to know how was it like for you growing up at St. Croix.
Um, it was hard, and so I kind of had to learn um to put up a wall, when it came to that. being from St. Croix, but then not feeling like you're from St. Croix because you're being made fun of was difficult. My family real hardcore, so it wasn't back then. It wasn't like coming to mama and be like, "Hey, mama, the children teasing me at school because you and daddy from St. Lucia." It's just you felt like you just couldn't do that because we didn't talk about feelings at home. So here I am getting teased at school because of where my parents are from and how we were brought up, versus now I gotta go home and I can't even tell my parents that I getting teased. I had nobody to go to. So it was rough as a little child. I didn't even tell my older siblings or anybody because it just felt like, there's nobody to talk to. You just don't talk about feelings. That's what it was like growing up. Now, my parents were not, they were not legal citizens at the time either. So we couldn't make us think about nothing either. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She couldn't come to the school and be like, oh, you know what I mean? The children, it didn't make sense to do any of that stuff. So they were concerned about working and providing. And that was it. Work, provide. And I was kind of depressed. It was sad because I had nobody to turn to about that. My friends, even my friends, people I thought were my friends would tease me, and all because of where my parents were from. Sometimes I would pronounce words differently because where my parents from, they're talking patois to me all the time. My mother didn't speak English as her first language. So she was better at speaking patois versus English. Whereas my dad was more fluent in English. So he spoke English all the time to us. And sometimes he would speak a little patois, but my mother always spoke patois. And she didn't want us to speak the Crucian twang. So I couldn't be like, my son. I couldn't say all the things to my mother at home. You know what I mean? She was really strict when it comes to certain things. But also she was still very supportive, knowing the risk that she had to take. She still came to school, even though she worked like 2-3 jobs. She still came to support me whenever I had to sing or do anything. And singing it became an escape for me from the teasing. One of the other things I did, I had a nasty, filthy little mouth, so I used to cuss people. You tell me some strictness, I used to cuss you back too. Mumbai, you should know. I used to cuss bad words. I used to cuss a lot of bad words when I was small. So, I mean, I wouldn't cry if somebody called me a gasso or, their favorite thing was skinny macaroni. See, I got teased for being skinny. I got teased for having solution parents too. So it was like a double whammy for me. And my defense mechanism was to be tough. I had to be tough. So I had to cuss them back and diss them back too. So that's what that was like. But then when I went home, I had nobody to talk to. So it was sad, for me. And music generally became like my escape. And so when I performed at talent shows, from young, I've been singing love songs and heartbreak and them kind of thing. And I sang with a lot of emotion, and that was because everything I felt ever, every kind of pain I ever felt was pushed into that. Whatever I was singing at that time, those emotions were geared towards that song. And so when I sang, you would be watching a little 10, 11-year-old girl on the stage wondering what she know about My Last Cry, like what she know about Brian McKnight songs and Whitney Houston love songs. I didn't know a damn thing about it, right? But what I know was that how it made me feel, the emotions, how it made me feel, and I could relate to that. And so that always came out in my music. But growing up, it was really tough. And so music was my escape. And I used to be embarrassed to tell people that my parents were from St. Lucia or I was from St. Lucia. And so to answer your question in a nutshell. I know I tell you a lot, but that's what it was. It was hard growing up and not having anybody to really turn to, or feeling like you didn't have anybody to turn to. And it could have been worse because these children in the States, a lot of children out here committing suicide because of simple things like that. So
Yeah,
I give thanks that I was able to find an escape, which was my music.
that's deep. That's deep, man. I really appreciate you sharing that with us. That is so deep.
Thanks for asking.
Yeah, but I can definitely relate to that because my parents are Antiguan. So,
Mm,
and me too, being born in Antigua, oh yeah, the name calling was nonstop. So I could definitely relate to that. For me, my outlet was poetry.
wow. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. But I appreciate you sharing that.
Thank you. Appreciate you sharing that too, because I
It's
didn't know.
it's good for people to hear that because I know I was on the flip side. I was one of the people them that used to tease,
Mhm.
like kids when they come from Saint Lucia, Dominica. Even though some of my best friends are from Dominica and Saint Lucia, we at the time we only kids, but we know the kind of damage that we could do on somebody's life by teasing them of the way that they talk, where they're from,
Yep.
body shaming. You say you had a little body shaming growing up, like yeah, these things as kids we don't know. So it's good that you could be here today to share your story because, like you said, the turnout for a lot of people don't be the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So be
Yeah,
quiet, Alrika.
I'm same. Same with Pang, man. I was on the flip side. Man, I'm guilty of that for sure. And it's funny you mentioned that Kenya because I'm not gonna call the individual name, but it was someone that was I used to tease them because they were fat and stuff like that. And
Hmm.
I saw them years later. I want to we were 2021. I want to say maybe 11, 10 years later. I was at the house race and I saw her, and she's a female by the way too. That even makes it worse when I think back at it. And I apologized to her. I actually apologized to her. I told her I was sorry for calling
Wow.
her fat and stuff like that. Like I really did, you know. And I just wanted to apologize to her just because, like, I really felt bad about it as I became an adult and I got kids of my own, you know. And it was just important that I told her that I was sorry, so she know, like, hey, I acknowledge my mistakes and I was man enough to apologize to her face to face. So
That's awesome.
That is.
yeah,
That is awesome because a lot of people don't mature enough
Mm-hmm.
to that point where they could admit that they did something that was harmful to somebody or hurtful. So yeah,
yeah,
that's amazing that you were able to like recognize your part in it and apologize. Because right now we have a lot of adults who still, have some issues with regards to that teasing going up. Like I said, fortunate for me, like I was able to like forgive people. Now that I'm an adult, I'm able to say they didn't know better, because sometimes adults influence their children's behavior,
yeah,
so they might have been just repeating things that they hear from their parents or, regurgitating whatever it is was surrounding them. So it's awesome that you were able to recognize your part and apologize because a lot of people just don't have the balls to do it,
yeah,
for lack of better words.
yeah. Thank you.
That's
I
true.
appreciate it. Yeah.
Pang, did you go to those people and apologize?
I, I got a balls, Carrie Ann, but I know I haven't I
Hey,
haven't apologized. I haven't come across anybody that have teased um when we were small. I think I overcome them things when I was young because I used to tease, but I ain't really been like a mean teaser. Like some of the people that might
Yeah,
tease, they were like my actual friend. You know what I'm saying? So it was all
right.
in good love. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But still, you never know like the type of damage you would do because they won't be the same type of jokes I would say about my friends right now. I would still joke
Right.
on them, but not those types of jokes. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Um, You know, some of my friends from Dominica and St. Lucia, you know, I learned some words in patois. You know, they ain't good words, but I learned words in patois. You know,
Oh gosh.
without them,
We don't all learn the bad words first.
Okay.
right.
I was
I would
teaching
have
about
never,
what's first.
Yeah,
I
that's
would have
true.
never learned how to tell somebody they smell like cow shit. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
That's sad.
so
I'll tell you
I
this for me. Oh, go ahead, Pang. Sorry.
now I was going to say I appreciate my Dominican and St. Lucian friends. And I'm going to say one thing about St. Lucian. They got the prettiest woman them in the world, brother.
See, now you will offend other people from other places. Don't do it.
They get the best type of hair texture.
That's funny.
Oh my
My teasing was my tease. Honestly, my teasing was vicious, man. Like really, I used to like it was in front of the class. I used to, you know, call her Miss Call and say moo and stuff like that. Like honestly, like I'm ashamed. Like it's hard for me to say this right now, but I have to because we're on the topic. That's why I apologize to her because mine was not like when I look back on it, it was really serious. Like it was bad. Like I'm like that's not me. If my mother know what I was doing, she would have gone crazy on me.
Right.
But thinking back, that's why I had to apologize. I was like, man, I cannot believe I really, really did this. So that's why I really, it was bad.
The Carrie and
yeah.
mines wasn't that bad.
See, Mumba bringing back memories too because now you making me feel like I gotta go apologize to some people
No, no,
because
no, no, no.
I
Don't.
had no, no. I'm just saying, like I had my share of teasing people too. Like I remember one girl in 8th grade. I literally make up a song about she, and I
OMG.
was singing it like you. Oh my gosh. Yep. It seemed like I gotta go make amends myself.
You
No,
better.
you have to feel it though. That's the thing. Like
I feel
honestly,
it
like,
now. Like you bringing it back. Like man, I was mean too, my son.
but like that, like honestly, like even like I apologize to her, but it still bothers me that I did it. That's a show like it really like hurt me as
Yeah.
an
Right.
adult. Like
You're
it's
convicted.
yeah, what I'm saying? She might get over it, but like it's just like when I see her, it's like, man, I can't believe I really did that. Like, so but I know some people say the shock person, you say you're shocked. I'm shocked too. Trust me, but
I'm not.
hey,
Momo was a bad boy growing up, so I
Oh
already knew
goodness.
that.
this guy. So
But
we gonna turn it back to Kenya, okay? Because this
okay.
I just share a personal experience, and I'm ashamed.
But
Honestly, I'm really ashamed.
we appreciate and commend you for that, though, Mumbai. Like she said, it takes somebody with balls to do that, because you
Mhm.
never know how she would have react. You know what I'm saying? She could have said
Yeah.
fire your ass and get from wrong else, something. You know what I mean? So
Right.
you never know how she would have react. So
And you know what? Even if she did, that would be okay as long as you forgave yourself for the mistake that you made in the past as a child. That's not the
right,
person you are now,
right.
and that's what
True that.
matters.
Yeah. And she did accept my apology and she was cool about it, but which was the good thing. Let me put that out
Yeah,
there too,
that's
definitely.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys though. Definitely. So
So when you
but
were talking and sharing your story about growing up and being teased and I was listening to your music, I guess. I went to your Facebook page because I've never heard any songs or whatever until just now.
Okay.
So number one, you just gained a new fan because you have a beautiful voice.
Thank
Um,
you.
facts.
you mentioned growing up singing like Brian McKnight song, Whitney Houston song. Did you have like a go-to song, no matter how I feeling, whatever, I gonna kill this song, no matter where I performing, or did you have like a
I
go-to
had
song?
many of those.
That's good.
But one of the songs I really liked was by Brian McKnight. Uh, My shattered dreams and broken heart are mended on the shelf. I saw you holding hands, standing close to someone else. Now I sit all alone, wishing all my feelings were gone. Gotta get over you, nothing for me to do, but I one last cry before I leave it all behind. That's it.
I
Man,
wish
you
I
could
could
keep
show you.
going.
I wish I could show you the
Um,
goosebumps. I wish I could show you the goosebumps that are coming up on my hand here. That
ah,
was nice. That was lovely.
And I was
Yeah, that
singing
was
this at
lovely.
like 10, 11. I was a big fan, but that was one of my favorite
Beautiful.
songs.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Man, that was
Some
Thank
amazing.
kids are
you.
just gifted, you know. Like they was just blessed with a voice that like a lot of us didn't have. You know what I mean? Like I believe my voice is the best out there in the world, but other people won't think so. You know what I mean? So
Right.
when other people could tell you that you have a good voice, then you know you made it. You know what I'm saying? But you definitely have a beautiful voice, and I'm gonna
Give
do some
thanks.
more. I'm gonna do some
Definitely.
more looking up, researching on you and listening to some of your songs. Um,
Yay.
I did have another question. Did you do you work with writers or you write your own music?
I have been writing my own music, but I also write for other artists. Um, Most recently, I've written for a Cash Money artist. So that was a really big accomplishment for me. I
Nice.
did that in conjunction with AJ Ventura out of St. Croix. And so we have some other stuff in the making. But yeah, I write for other artists. But to date, I haven't had anybody write a song for me per se. Aside from Desiree, but that's not out yet.
Okay.
See, and I just lie you in on something.
Oh, you heard it here
Thank you. I
first.
appreciate it.
Nice,
It's an
nice.
exclusive.
Thank you.
So
Yeah.
Desiree, that's your sister, right?
Yes.
Can you talk
Serious?
about, yeah, can you share with us a little bit about Desiree? Because I know she's also a singer too, right?
Yes, that's my big sis, roots reggae artist, the baddest.
Interesting.
One of my inspirations, definitely. Um, Desiree she's an amazing, amazing songwriter. When you talk about lyrics and educating people at the same time and making you feel good, that's the go-to person right there. So for me, I never believed I was a good writer at first when I started out as an artist. And one of the best advice that she could ever give me was to just keep writing and write what's on your heart, write whatever coming out to you. Because I remember saying to her, man, I want to write inspirational music. I want to write music that's educational and telling people, about politics and what's going on. But I was like, I don't have the inspiration to write it. I want to write it, but it's just not coming to me. And she was like, well, then write what's coming to you. So if that's love songs and heartbreak, then you write that when it's coming to you, because everything gonna come to you when it's supposed. And so she's like, you just keep writing. If you don't think it's your best work, you keep writing because it's practice. And so I took her advice and I kept writing and I started writing whatever came to my heart. And for the most part, that was R&B music. It was love songs. It was songs about heartbreak. And so fast forward now, what's been coming out of me lately, maybe a little more politically directed. It's a little more revolutionary. It's a little more informational. All the things that I wanted to do at the beginning of my career are starting to come to me now.
Can I ask you a question with that? Do you think that came with experience?
It
And
certainly did. It certainly did. Because I wanted to write about things that I really did not have any firsthand experience about. And I think that was what my issue was. I didn't have that experience and I didn't have the passion for it. The passion that comes behind
right,
something that experienced and I didn't have that. I didn't have that fire. I wanted to give that kind of knowledge and knowing the knowledge, having book smarts is not necessary. Well, it would not necessarily help me in that manner that I needed the help with it. And I needed the experience to come behind of it, if that makes sense.
right.
So
Yeah.
knowing what you're talking about and also having the experience behind of it, which would make you a lot more passionate about what you're singing about. Then you could sing with conviction, you know. And I didn't have those two married together yet. And so now No, it's coming together. And it's because of experience and also like wanting to set an example for my children, um, in terms of speaking your mind and holding strong to your beliefs or your morals or whatnot.
I think
So
one of them was just speaking their mind in the back room just now.
you could hear that. The thing is that they're upstairs. They're upstairs. I tell them, don't come down here. And they're upstairs. Are you hear them still?
It look
Somebody
like you
just
pass
ball
on
out.
the pipes.
Yeah, somebody just got out. They're watching TV, so you know what it is.
Right.
Oh yeah, so that's what that was. But that's the main reason why I call my music heart music, because at any given time in life, I may write about heart music because about heartbreak and love songs, because that's what's happening at that portion of my life, and that's the feelings that the music is evoking from me. That's the time it's taking me back to. You know what I mean? And then the next part of my life, at another time, I'm gonna turn around and give you a roots reggae album, because I'm a little more impacted by that right now. Or, this is what's going on. This is what's on my heart. This is what I'm feeling right now. It's relevant to the times. And so that's what you will get right now. So I call it heart music. I don't know if a lot of people know, but I classify my music as heart music. I don't classify it as R&B or reggae anymore necessarily. My genre is heart music, because it's whatever comes from my heart, whatever feelings are evoked from the music. I try not to box myself in as much as I can. So, hence the reason for calling my music heart music.
Good music.
Yes.
We have a
Yeah,
guest.
and
We got a. Go ahead, Karen.
no, I was just gonna say, and I definitely could see the diversity in your songs, because it's not like one song you could pinpoint and say it's just like the next one. Like it's always different. Like you may have a reggae feel in one song, and the next one might be like a ballad or a love song. So you definitely do different genres. So that's true. We can't just box you in and say she's this type of artist. So that's really good that you have that type of diversity.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's the goal. That's the goal.
We have a viewer question here from Andre. How long does it take you to write a song?
It depends. It depends. The fastest I have written a song was maybe a little less than an hour. A little less. Some songs could take hours, some could take days, some could take a month or more, because the writing process could be a little complicated sometimes, especially depending on the feelings that the music evokes, and also the reason behind the song. If I write in for somebody else, then it's wham bam, thank you, ma'am. Like, if I know I'm writing a song for this artist and they said, this is what I want you to write about, this is what I'm looking for, this is the feelings I'm going for, the emotions, blah, 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 then I could knock that out, especially if I know I have a time limit. I have to get it done within this frame of time, then I'll get it done real quick. For myself, totally different. I could listen to a song. My process would be going through all the music that I have. And whichever stands out the most for me is the song that I'll choose to write to. And then I sit down and I listen to the music. And depending on what kind of feeling it evokes, then I know what I'm going to write. And then I start humming my melody. And after I get the melody, then the lyrics come. And then that's it. Now, it could take me an hour or less than an hour. But sometimes you get interrupted as a mom. You get interrupted, life happens, so I may be in the middle of writing a song and then I had to stop to do something and it just killed the whole vibe. So then I'd have to rest it down, because me going back to that at that point in time is a waste of time, because I ain't gonna get back the vibe that I had. I don't lose it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So That's why when I go to write, I have to like shut myself in, lock the door, don't interrupt me, don't take no calls, nothing. And then I could get it done. Otherwise, yeah, it could take days, it could take months, you know.
Yeah.
It just depends.
When does most of your, not a question from Andre, when does most of your writing, when does most of your writing take place? Where does most of your writing take place? When and where?
For me, it don't matter. I could be in the back of a car. I could be in the back of a car and something come to me, I start writing. I could be at home, I could be in the shower, and I remember a track that I had, and I just start writing. And guess who rushing out the shower, falling down, trying to go write these lyrics before she forget? It's me. You know, it I don't have a specific place or time or anything. It's just whatever comes. I have a lot of music that I be writing on a consistent basis, so it's like it don't matter. I could be on a bus. It don't matter. It just comes. You know. I've written songs at work and people job.
That's good. That's good.
When
You
I'm
know what I
supposed to be doing
always
them, I walk, I write it.
that's probably the best time to write. You need to get your mind away from work.
There he goes.
You know what I always wonder for writers that are sing, like it's different when you're writing and rapping, like or you're rapping you to write. I always wonder how you to get your melody, your like how you don't know how to hold a note this long or shorten it. Like when you write, because you write in actual words, just like
Yeah,
how you to talk, like how you
yeah.
to put that into a song, like how you to get the notes together and
I
harmonize
don't
that
know
out.
about anybody else, but for me, it's always about feel and vibe. Like, you know, I literally have sat down in the studio, listened to a track, my husband right next to me, and it just start humming. And then I'd be like, hey, this song, you hear that? You hear that? And he'd be like, no, what are you talking about? That, I heard that. Like, that's how it comes to me. I'd be like somebody's sitting there whispering in my ears, this is what you need to sing. This is how you need to sing. It sounds weird, but it has happened to me on, on so many occasions that I'm like, what the heck? Somebody was right here singing this for me. It's just, I don't know about anybody else, but for me, that's how it happens sometimes. And those songs always turn out to be the extra special ones. Um, Sometimes it'll just be me. I hum to everything I hear. Everything on the radio, I hum and I start making different variations of, I would do it like this too. I would add this here or add that there. And so I think for some people, it may be a gift. It may be something that's just really natural because not like, as we all know, not all artists or all singers write their own music. And then there are some who can write the music, but they can't do backup. And then there are some who could write lyrics, but they can't come up with the melody. You know, for me, I write the lyrics, I come up with the melody, I do the backup singing, I do the harmonizing, I do all of that. And I guess it's like a mad scientist. Sometimes it just come from here, there, and everywhere. A lot of it has to do with listening to a lot of different genres of music. And sometimes we are so influenced by other music in so many different ways that you don't even realize. So sometimes you might take a harmony from one song, piece of the harmony, and add it to a piece of harmony from the other song, you know, and then merge it together. But I mean, for me, it just comes.
Now,
So can you? Let me get to this viewer question because I'm getting from this is from Des Langalo Haywood. Can you tell us? Can you tell them about your encounters and experience with major artists like India Arie? And viewers, I apologize if I miss any of your questions. I apologize. I'm gonna definitely go back and look again. I'm gonna definitely get your questions them in. So I definitely apologize to all the viewers. And real quick before you answer the question, Kenya, tomorrow we have Senator Whitaker coming on 7 p.m. Senator Whitaker coming on 7 p.m. So I'll do the poll, the announcement after the show on Facebook. But she will be coming on tomorrow, 7 p.m. So you guys stay tuned for that as well.
Yes. So I opened up for Wyclef. I opened for Big Mountain. Opened for Bamboo Station. I didn't work for Desiree. Who else? I've also opened for Brandy most recently. And then in 2012, I opened for India Ari, and that was a really, really awesome experience. This was the first time this ever happened to me, to have like a major artist actually come and listen to me open for them. That's not something that happens often at all. All I know is somebody opening for them and they come in showtime. So I saw her, I met her at rehearsals, and she was like, you know, from the time I got on the airport, all I was hearing is about Kenya is opening for her. So she was like, well, I am definitely coming to see you perform. And I was like, okay, thank you. But in the back of my mind, I was like, she ain't coming a place. She ain't coming a place. But thanks for making me feel good. Listen, from the time I opened my mouth and sing the first note, yes, honey, who in the back going sick? And I was like, no way. I could not believe she was back there supporting me. Like, it was so awesome that she was there. She had her whole team was there, her dancers, makeup artists, everybody was there. And it was a really awesome experience. By the time I was finished, I made my way back into the audience to sit down and enjoy the show, because that's one of my favorite artists.
Me too.
And so, yeah, man, she got vibes. So as I sit down to enjoy the show, mind you, just let me give you a side note. My husband keep telling me, she gonna call you up and you better be prepared to sing one of her songs. I was like, she ain't calling nobody. She ain't calling me. He kept saying it, right? But I was like, no, she ain't gonna call me. So we sit down in the audience and she was like, I tell you, she gonna call you. So I was like, you need to stop. She ain't gonna call me. So I sitting down again, cozy, and she in the middle of her set stops. And she was like, is Kenya still here? I was like, no, she didn't. So now she's like calling and she started talking about, she really enjoyed my performance. And I'm there sitting there just like melting down into the seat, like hoping nobody sees me, right? Because I was like, man, no, I wanted to enjoy the show, right? And so everybody turned around and started pointing at me. And I don't know why I was surprised that they knew where I was sitting, but I had to get up. So I went to the back of the stage, and her people was like, do you need anything? Blah, 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 whatever. And I was like, I need to pee. Because I was so nervous. I really didn't think she was going to call me up, yo. So all I could think about is, shit, I got pee. So I went to the bathroom and peed. And then I stood back there, I washed my hands, guys. I washed my hands. So I stood back there waiting, and
she need to make that clear, because I'm sure a lot of people thinking, I wonder if she washed her hands.
Make that clear for Panka. He would have asked that question.
True.
I had to make sure I put her out there, because my husband, you wash your hands? Like if you wash your hands? You wash your hands every time. Anyway, so so I standing up back there and she's singing, and I'm like, man, I hope she don't call me up to sing one of her very new, like her new songs, because I didn't have a most recent album. I was like, man, she needs to call me up and my vibe that I like. Call me, and that's how I know God is real, right? So in the back of my head saying, please call me for this song. Guess what song she called me up for?
Brown Skin?
No, that's how I know that God is real.
That's
the
what's
song
up.
I was hoping she was going to call me
wanted.
for, right?
Yep.
But I love how she did it, because she was like, I want you to give your testimony as to how you know that God is real. So I didn't exactly sing the exact lyrics for it. I did some of it. But I went out there and then I sang the song and she's like, take it, take it. I hear trying to do what she does on the album. She's like, no, take it. So then I just start hitting some notes up there and everybody stood up and the crowd went wild.
Wow.
That was an amazing
Amazing.
experience. She also even like kept in contact for a little bit. We got some of her people's information and whatnot. But it was a very awesome experience. Very awesome.
Nice.
Do we
Yeah,
have
that was awesome.
anywhere we could stream some of that footage? YouTube?
I think I have it on YouTube. I have it on YouTube.
You have a YouTube page?
Yes, just type in Kenya Eugene or Kenya Heart Music. It's definitely gonna come up.
Nice. We have a question here. This is from Des, and this was asked a while back. I apologize. One of my proudest moments of Kenya when she was performing at our youth federation as a teenager at our SDH church. This was a big event across different islands, and Kenya was a part of that. Talk about that experience.
Man, I don't even remember all of the performances, but I know I did several solos for our youth federation choir. I went to the Central Seventh-day Adventist Church in Grove, and the youth federation choir was comprised of all the youth choirs from the Seventh-day Adventist churches on St. Croix. And I think we went to St. Thomas one time. I'm not sure exactly which performance you're talking about, Des, because I did, there you go, because I did a lot of solos. But it was an awesome experience. I know I was getting called to do solos for youth choir. So yeah, I definitely did sing in the youth choir with Desiree and we used to have a blast. Like,
Oh, she used to sing too.
yes.
Really? Langalo holding
Langalo
up?
used to sing?
Wow.
We gotta have her
Really?
back on so she could sing something.
In the choir.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Let's see how she's moving.
Mhm.
Well,
We
shout
gotta
out to
bring
Langy.
she
Shout
back
out to
on.
Langy. Yeah. So we got a question here from Andre, and I'll definitely turn it back over to our host here as well. Let me make sure I ask this question correct. And also, geez, I'm losing it today. I had this question written down from as well too. Have you ever experienced writer's block unlike other type of writers?
Oh yeah. There have been times where I definitely had some serious writer's block. I mean, couldn't write or talk about anything, period. Period. I knew I had to write, I knew I wanted to write, but nothing came to me. And what I started learning to do was when I had writer's block like that, severe like that, I would just focus on just listening to music. Just listen to music for inspiration. Just listen, listen, listen. I didn't try to write anything. I would listen to music, I would read books, and that was it. And then I would just let it come naturally. That's what I had to do to break that.
We have a question here from Alrika. You ever tried out for singing shows like The Voice or American Idol, etc.?
Listen, right? So I ashamed to say this. Well, I ain't ashamed. But I did try out for, was it The Voice? I tried out for The Voice a long time ago. And that was out of just frustration with everybody saying, oh, you should try for The Voice. You should this, you should that. And for me, I always felt like I didn't feel like being in no competition with nobody. I is who I is. And my music would speak for itself. And I didn't want it the quote unquote easy way. I don't want it handed to me. I want it to work for it, like really work and do it the old school way. And so I was opposed to it for a long time. And then I was like, you know what? Let me at least just try it to say that I tried. When I went and I applied for it, I auditioned in Maryland. And I don't even know why I wasn't picked, but I'll say this, the producers that were judging us were not musical producers, they were TV producers. So they also had what they were looking for in mind already. And I think at the time that I showed up, they weren't looking for a female, they wanted a male. So there was like, I know with my group of people, when I auditioned, there was maybe about 3 females that were really amazing, including myself, but they didn't pick any of us. They wanted a male. And they picked mostly males for that cast. So I'm not sure. Maybe I just wasn't what they were looking for at the time. I'm making no excuses. I just probably wasn't what they were looking for at the time. And so I was like, I moved on. But that was it.
Any
And
regrets?
I never regrets about wasting money
Okay,
to
gotcha.
go to take part in that when I really didn't necessarily wanted to do it. I didn't want to do it. It was just like, you know what? Just do it so you don't have any regrets about trying it out. You know, at least I know that I did it. You know what I mean? So that was the purpose behind of that. My regret with that is money. Like, I can't believe I spent my money on that, but because it was me, it was my husband, and it was my twins. You know, we took that trip together. But I also got the opportunity to spend time with family too. So I was like, hey, it was kind of win-win, you know what I mean? It was a reason to leave leave the island and go do something. So that's what that was.
Did it spark any collaboration with anybody that you met on that trip? Like,
No, not anybody that I was interested in really.
gotcha.
Okay.
Not at that
So
level.
I have a question. So walk us through the process of Kenya being in the Virgin Islands as a youth growing up wanting to sing to now Kenya the professional. Like, how did that happen?
Kenya, I didn't start singing professionally until this was in 2008. Prior to that, I started singing in elementary, and I was discovered by Mr. Tony Richards. And he just happened to come play at this talent show that I was singing at. And when he heard me sing, I think I was singing The Greatest Love of All that day. And after the show, he came to meet my mom. Then he went to my house to meet my father and asked them if he could take me out to sing. So he started taking me to different events when I was younger, and I was singing. I was making a little money. So I started singing at different events, and that was that. But it wasn't no real money like that, you know what I mean? But he got me the exposure that I needed. I sang for different governors, um, just different events. I started doing weddings. I graduated to weddings later on when I met Mr. VLA, not our principal, his brother, Roy VLA. And I started singing at different banquets at the National Guard. Then he took me away a couple of times to sing at some weddings in the States. So I got a lot of exposure from a young age. And then I did a lot of weddings at one point in time on St. Croix. And then I started getting calls for funerals. I just sang, you name it, I sang at it. I sang at preteen, Miss St. Croix, a lot of talent shows. I got sent over to St. Thomas for at UVI to sing at their queen shows and pageants or whatnot. So it's traveling the Virgin Islands and a little bit more exposure going to like the mainland to sing. And this was all before I started to really take it professionally as a career. In 2008 is when my husband, who was my boyfriend at the time, I decided that he could manage me. And when he became my manager, things became a little more different. So now what happened when I was young, I was taken advantage of a lot by friends or people who want you to sing for next to nothing. And that was a major problem. And I had a hard time saying no to people. A very hard time. I don't have that problem anymore. I had to say no a lot. But when I was younger, it was difficult to say no to the people you grew up with, no to the people that you know, and be like, no, this is what it's gonna cost. Because if I don't charge you this, then it gonna put me behind. It gonna put me in a hole.
Right.
You know what I mean? So when he became my manager, I released my first single, which was produced by Dean Pond. And that was my joy. That's when things start to kick off for me a lot more. It was more on a professional level. I got my first video done and everything, and then shortly thereafter I brought out an EP and just started connecting with the right people and right producers, and we started actually charging more and started saying no to some people because there's just some events or performances that just aren't worth it, and it's not worth your time, your energy, or your resources. And so I had to say no because people, even though Kenya had all this exposure, keep saying, oh, well, we don't have enough money to pay you, but you get a lot of exposure. But exposure to who? The same people I've been singing to for years growing up.
It's true.
You're not exposing me internationally. So I just had to start saying no to a lot of people, a lot. And so I have grown a lot in terms of maturity in the business and knowing when to say no and when not to accept mediocrity. And also knowing how to navigate in this music world. So Kenya, the young artist, was a lot more naive and more open-minded and, okay, like, a little more timid, and because I know you, I'll do it. But now I am more about my business. Like, no, it's not happening. I can't do it. Or if it just don't fit my budget, it don't fit my budget. That's it. And I'm not gonna overextend myself when there's no real gain. So, I mean, I would say that's the difference. I come with a lot more experience now. I know what I like. I know what I want. I know what I will stand for, what I will not tolerate, and I know the business part of it, which is registering your music, getting your music copywritten. I do it all on my own. I don't hire or pay anybody to do any of that stuff. I do it all on my own. That's a very important and key factor in the music business that I think a lot of our artists out of the Virgin Islands and even on the mainland take for granted. They don't copyright their music. They don't register it sometimes. And, it's difficult when you have to suffer the repercussions later on in life when people steal your stuff.
That's true.
That's
You
true.
know, so it's better to cover yourself on the front end versus having to fight to get it back or fight to be repaid for what was taken. So Kenya today is more business minded, more focused on, yes, the goal is to use my talents to bless the people in my community and around the world, because I want to be a blessing to others, but also not to the expense of putting myself or my family in a hole. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm more business savvy, more business minded now. That's the difference.
I got questions around that. I got two questions actually. The first question you don't have to answer if it's too personal, and that's cool.
Okay.
The first question is, well, it's a two-part question. What was you said when you were young, and I think you said his name was Tony Richards, that to take you around
Mhm.
to do different talent shows, and you start moving to weddings and stuff like that. making a little money, you said. So
Mhm.
what was the first paycheck that you got for performing as an amateur? And then what was the first paycheck you got? What was the amount of the first paycheck that you got performing as an amateur and then as a professional? And
As an
how much was the paycheck?
amateur, no, as an amateur, it was like maybe like $100. Um, as a professional, I would say 15. The first time I got, paid as a professional, I would say 15
100?
around there. Yes, not $15, man, 1,500.
I would think it
You
1,500 or
gotta clarify.
15,000. I would have never taken $15. How you go from 100 to 15?
Well, you know how they do, right? Like after the expenses are deducted, this is where you end up with. So some people get
Yeah,
like $15 or 15 cents. So it does happen.
So
yeah.
that leads to my second question. Now
Okay.
you said you do everything yourself. Can you collect a check for all the editing and everything that you do for yourself and you put your album or your song together? Can you collect a separate check for everything that you did? Um, I forgot the words that they use. Monetize. Can you monetize like for everything that you did yourself for that song or album? Can you collect a check for everything that you do on that on your music?
That depends on what my end goal is, really and truly. That's on me. Um, I would say I save money doing it that way.
Gotcha.
You know, for the two shows that I did recently for the benefit, well, it's not a benefit concert, but for the Take a Mental Break event that I did in St. Croix and St. Thomas. A lot of people don't know, but I did the graphic art for the flyers on my own. I did that myself. And that's because I didn't feel like paying nobody to do it. I really didn't feel like I needed to do that. I just invested in a program and I did it on my own. Um, can I pay myself for it? I could have put that in as a administrative fee for things that I did, but I didn't. And that's just being because I wanted to offer my services, Kenya. That was my donation to the cause. Will I be doing more of that or too much of that? Not really. Uh, I have done, this is my fourth benefit event. I did 2 benefit concerts on St. Thomas. I did The Sound of Love benefit concert part 1 and part 2 on St. Thomas, and they were both held at the Marriott Hotel, very upscale events. I did those. I planned those events, I executed it, and then I performed, and I donated my services there. And then I did it again with these last 2 events that I put together again. So will I be doing anything for charity in the next foreseeable couple of months? No. And I don't want it to sound, I don't mean it in a bad way, but I got to catch myself. I have to catch myself financially because although we had a lot of sponsors, a lot of it was in-kind services, and some of it is what, government agencies, and you got to wait a long time sometimes for Department of Finance to cut them checks. So most of it was done out of pocket while we wait for the sponsorship money to kick in. So that's a lot to deal with when you're talking about a show that maybe cost 10 grand to put on, or maybe more if you add up the tiny little expenses. So when you see me putting on these events, it's not that I just have it like that, but I really felt convicted that the community needed something, free up something, you know what I mean? And so we did that out of the goodness of our hearts. And I say we because it's not just me. I did it in conjunction with Beautiful Dreamers, and I don't mention it a lot, but my husband did a lot of the behind the scenes work. He is like, I walk the man like a horse. Honestly, he has done so much work. And the problem is he have to run an agency of his own too. So, and on his weekends after work, everything, he working overtime all the time to support me and my dreams. And so, yeah, I don't know if I'll be doing that in the near future, but I gotta give my family a little break.
We got a couple of viewers questions here. We got one from Persia. What is your ultimate goal in your music career?
Definitely to be internationally known, not just to limit myself to the Caribbean or the US, but to be internationally known around the world and to be able to speak this universal language called music, to be able to touch people around the world on different levels, you know. And that's it. That's that there.
We have a question here from Dr. Bryson. What do you recommend for young persons coming up?
I would say to be persistent and learn everything you can about the business side of it. Don't just focus on being an artist and being creative, because that comes natural for you. It already comes natural. You naturally are creative. That's what you want to do. You hone your craft, right? You work on your craft, become better at what you do, because you can always become better. But you also need to learn the business side of it, which is what a lot of us artists neglect to do. So don't only focus on honing your skills on your, in your craft. Also focus on learning the business side of things, even if you don't put it into practice, but just so that you have the basic knowledge as to how things work. Even if you hire somebody to do this stuff for you, you still need to know how it works so that you can protect yourself. And persistence is key.
Very true.
Also, break the rules. It's okay to break the rules, you know.
That's true.
Greatness don't come by just following rules, you know what I mean?
That's true.
I break the rules all the time with my music. And in this album that's coming, you'll hear you'll hear a lot of that. I break the rules all the time when it comes to my music. People say, oh, you're supposed to write songs in a particular way. Verse, chorus, verse, bridge, chorus, verse, or whatnot, right? I just break the rules. I might start with the hook. I might start with the chorus first. I have one song that's gonna be on my new album. I sing all my verses first, and then the hook come to the end of the song. Period. Does that mean that the song isn't good enough? No, it just means that it's different. And it also means that it'll catch your attention because it's not something that you're accustomed to hearing. So that's what that is. Break the rules, be persistent, hone your craft, but also learn the business of your craft.
Good to know I'm doing it the right way, because that'll make my hooks first, and then I'll write the lyrics.
Let me hear it, man.
We could hear that soon, but let me get to Dwayne question. We have a question from Dwayne. Do you write poetry? And if you do, have you taken any of your poems and made them into a song?
I used to write poetry earlier on into my songwriting journey, and I tried converting the poems into songs, but it just didn't work out for me. For me, and that's because of my process. For me, I have to hear the music first. I can't just write the song and then get the music afterwards. I have to hear the music first, and then I write to the music. So that hasn't worked out for me. I tried it in the beginning, but it was an epic fail.
Yeah, at least you try. Dr. Bryson mentioned something earlier about you singing for the for the band at Complex. How was that experience like?
Again, I remember doing it. I just don't remember the exact experience because it was so many. I sang at so many school activities and talent shows and performing with the band. I don't remember everything, but I do remember performing there. I also remember when Miss Bryson had put on the Apollo show at Complex. It was like a mock Apollo, and I think I won that once or twice. I don't remember, but I know I performed at that. That was when I had just come back from Georgia, because I had spent a year in Georgia for high school. And then when I came back, they were doing the mock Apollo. And I don't even remember how I got thrown into it, but I end up in the show. But big ups to Miss Bryson for that.
So
Yeah.
let me ask a question. For my two married people up top, how is it balancing a marriage or a relationship while being a artist? And do you have any other professions that you do besides being an artist?
Well, I won't say
Being a
that
mother
it's,
as well too. Sorry.
yeah, I won't say that it's easy, but fortunate for me, my husband and I were best friends first before anything. So we were friends. And then when we got into a relationship, he knew what he was dealing with up front about my music. Music was my first love. So he knows, and he has always been very supportive. So I never had any issues with that. He was always supportive and still is very supportive. It's easier now because my children are 8 and they understand what I do to a certain extent. So there's some real troopers because they'll be up in the studio with me late nights, sometimes like 1 in the morning. And then they get up early the next day and then we do it. But my husband has made it in a way so that, I'm able to homeschool. So my schedule is a lot more flexible with the kids. So they understand. He has been very supportive. He's also my manager. And not because he's my husband means we don't have a contract. We have a contract so that we stay on task and we know this is the line that we don't cross. This is what we're doing. You get paid for what you're doing. I get paid. Your work, your hard work is recognized. Because of the type of relationship we have, it doesn't phase us. My husband knows that, I have a lot of dudes sliding in my inbox, writing stupidness, or trying to press me in front of my husband, which we think is absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But because of the bond we have, it don't phase us. It doesn't.
Nope.
There have been people who have tried to infiltrate and try to suggest that I let him go as my manager because, having my husband as my manager is not the best thing, and we might end up fighting for certain things. Nabi. And I'm gonna tell you that on more than 2 occasions, I have had people suggest that, and while they wanted to be my manager or be a part of the team, and telling me that it's not in my best interest to have my husband as my manager. So, and those people have also proven to be fraudulent. And so I'm happy that I stuck to my gut and that my relationship is not wavery. We are on a different level. I don't know about other couples, but we're on a different level when it comes to certain things. So we talk about everything. So, I mean, he's very supportive. I think that's the most I could say. Does it take a strain on our marriage? Yeah, of course, because he's running an agency. I'm dealing with my music, and he's also assisting with my music. And so we are both very tired, and then we have the children that keep us going. I mean, keep going and going and going and going. And so it's not easy, but we know what our ultimate goal is. So, I mean, that's what it is. It's not easy, but it's something that we are both passionate about and that my husband is very supportive about. And he's also a music lover. So, That helps.
That's
Definitely
good.
help.
We
That definitely helps for sure.
It does. It does. We know this is Women's Month, but if you want, we definitely gotta give your husband some kudos. What your husband name be?
Samuel Joseph.
Samuel Joseph. We shout out to Samuel Joseph, for being a good support system and your manager, husband, father. Big ups to
Yes,
you.
definitely. What was the second question? I can't remember.
I think it's this one that they're up on the screen now.
Have you worked? This is a question from Dwayne. Have you worked with our city or any other known Virgin Islands or Caribbean artists?
I have not worked with Rock City, but I've opened on a couple shows with them. I have worked with Pressure. I have a song with Pressure
I just
right now.
listened to that one.
I have a song with Revelation the Royal. I'm a Liar. And then I have a song that's supposed to be released pretty soon with Ras Attitude. I also have a song with Desiree. And I think that's it so far. And I have some others. Oh, I also have a song with AJ. Not with him as in us singing together, but us writing together. And on his most recent project that's supposed to be dropping soon, I wrote a couple of songs on there. So yeah, that's the extent of that.
Are there any artists that you want to work with that like, man, I have to work with? And it don't, no matter what level, they ain't gotta be from the Caribbean.
From the I know I'm supposed to have some stuff in the works. It's been talks with Maranile, Cruziano. That's all I could think about right now. And there's some other artists that I have some works bubbling with right now, but can't say nothing about it yet. That they're international artists. And who I would love to work with, I would love to work with Mortimer out of Jamaica. I don't know, I just absolutely love his music. I can't think of anybody right now per se, anybody else that I would like to do anything with right now.
All right. Well,
But yeah.
speaking into existence, so hopefully one day that work out for you with Mortimer.
Yes. For sure.
We have a question here from Dr. Bryson. Is Desiree your older sister, and how has she influenced your singing?
Yes, Desiree is my older sister. I am the baby. Yeah, she has definitely influenced my writing. She's one of my biggest inspirations. I look up to her musically for a lot of things. Her lyrical content, the way she uses her voice, like her vocal ability, like, the way she pronounces words, it's amazing to me. I still don't get it. But I look to her for a lot of inspiration, definitely. And with all that she has accomplished, it definitely was an inspiration to me to know that, hey, you could do this too. Like, look what your big sister doing. Like, come on. You come from greatness. You could do it too.
Facts.
So, yeah.
Definitely. So I gotta tell you, did you want to go Mumba?
No, you good. Go ahead. You.
Okay,
Definitely,
so I gotta tell you,
ahead.
my favorite song right now is "You Are My World." Okay, that song is awesome. I could listen to that song over and over and over, and actually I did. So I want to ask you, like, is there a song that you consider your favorite that you've written so far, or your favorite to perform?
I don't know. That's a hard question because I love a lot of my songs. And hint, hint, a lot of my songs are love songs to my husband, right? Love letters to my husband. And so You Are My World is one of the very first ones that I wrote to him. So that is definitely one of my favorite songs. I have one song that I really love in particular, but it's not out, it's not released. It's a ballad, and it's entitled Sacrifice. And that talks about the ultimate love for your children, your spouse, just whoever, unconditional love, like willing to like fall on a sword for them kind of vibe. So that is my favorite song. Yeah, it will come close to being my top song.
Is that gonna be on the new album that's coming out?
No. That's one of the songs. That's one of the songs that I am actually shopping right now to
Okay.
be on the big screen, hopefully. So I think that song is just too big to go on an album right now. Honestly, that song is amazing. It's like it could definitely be the next Titanic. It's a
I'm
big
looking
tune.
forward to hearing that one then. You gotta let us know when that one drops.
That's actually,
Definitely.
it's funny because that's actually Desiree's favorite song. Period.
You mentioned Unconditional Love. Have you ever heard Conditional Love by Tupac?
No.
No. Well,
Mm-mm.
if you get time, you should listen to it. If you get
Let
time,
me read that down.
definitely.
Conditional love.
Yeah, Unconditional Love by Tupac. The real concept of he is three parts. One is unconditional love for his mom, unconditional love for his friend, and unconditional love for his significant other. So
Okay,
it's a dope song. So if you get a chance, definitely take a listen.
I will.
Did you ever hit a roadblock in your musical career where you felt like you had enough and you had to take some time away?
Of course. What? You know how many times? Listen, I just want to tell y'all, I love my husband so much. He's an amazing guy because there have been times when I was like, can I cuss? Can I cuss here? No,
Yeah,
no cussing. I'm
we
not gonna cuss. I'm not
yeah,
gonna cuss.
we
I'm
we
not gonna
we
cuss.
yeah.
I ain't cuss it. Let's censor this. So there have been many times where I have been like, look, I'm done. I am
Mm,
done with this. I'm not doing this anymore. I've had enough. I'm done. Like literally. I have quit maybe, I can't say like 50. I quit like maybe 5 times. Like literally, I was like, man, I done. I've had enough. Because sometimes as an artist, you it's like you're fighting against yourself sometimes. As an artist, you have the material. You want to get it done. You see where it can go, but you just can't reach it at the time that you want to reach it. So when I say you can't reach it, it may be that I have a song. I've written a song. I don't have enough money to record it. And then when you get the money to record it, I don't have enough money to mix and master it. And then when you finally get the money to get that done, then you may have to consider distribution. Dang, I gotta wait again till I get enough money to do that. And then you're not talking about releasing a song with a DJ that want you to pay them to run your tune on the radio. So it's a very expensive business. And it could become very frustrating when you just want to put the music out because you have the material. I have so much music pile up waiting. You hear me? I just get so messed up. Me and my husband was like, you know what? We ain't going studio no more. We buy our equipment. We just start saving money and just buying our equipment and got help setting things up. Now I don't have an engineer come record me to my house
oh
because
wow.
I'm done with that. I'm not going to the studio anymore unless it's with Dean Pond. So I've done. I fly Jamaica, went to the studio and all of that, and I find I ain't getting the kind of quality I wanted. So I have had to scale back, and we just make up our mind. Like I tell you, my husband, my ride or die, because you were like, you know what, we're gonna just invest the money.
Yeah.
I get tired of going to photographers who want to charge me a whole heap of money, and then want to charge me to license for the license to put up my own music. I mean, my own pictures. So
Wow.
it's different. It's a lot of stuff you gotta deal with. and when you deal with certain photographers. And so we just get messed up and we're like, okay, just buy our own camera. And then my husband just started learning to shoot. And most of the most recent pictures that you have seen out, including the one that you have there for this interview, my husband.
Wow.
And then
Wow.
I just find
Nice.
somebody,
Very professional.
I find somebody to edit my pictures. I pay anywhere from $80 to $30 to edit one picture. Imagine having to pay a photographer like $500 or maybe $1,500 for a photo shoot, and then they only edit 5 pictures for you, or maybe 2 or 3 pictures, and then anything else you want edited, you got paid $20 for each picture. That it will add up. It will add up a lot, especially as an artist when you have to always have new content. So we just got messed up and we're like, nah, we're gonna buy our own thing and we start doing it ourselves. And that's not to say I will never work with another photographer. There are very particular photographers that I will work with in the future that I have worked with before. But for the most part, I am not giving nobody my money too easy like that. That we don't get catch a lot. We don't waste a lot. We learn a lot of expensive lessons. Let me put it that way. So as an artist, it may be difficult and you want to give up because you have all these roadblocks, and then somebody always try advantage you, especially as a female. Always. And so yeah, I hit them points where I was like, man, I done with this. I done. Ain't want it. But at the end of the day, that's what I want to do. That is my purpose. I can't see myself working a job at a regular 9 to 5. Kudos to everybody who have the strength to do it, but I can't do it. I've tried. I worked at a firm for like 9 years at St. Thomas, a law firm. And the only way I survived was because they allowed me to have one earpod, one earphone, and what on the left side of my ears, I could listen to my music while I walk. Or else it wasn't, I would have quit the next day. I couldn't do it. The music is what kept me functioning. And so yeah, kudos to everybody else who could do, but I know what my purpose is and I have to fulfill it. So every time I try to give up, my husband was like, man, you know what you're doing this for. You know what you're in for. Don't give up. I know it's hard, but we're gonna pull through. That's my rock, so
Definitely big up to your husband, brother. That's a true role model right there.
for sure.
Definitely. You talking about your husband, how much has your husband sacrificed for your career?
Ooh.
And the reason I ask this too is because sometimes usually so many women sacrifice their career for their husband, especially like in sports and other areas. So how much how has he sacrificed his career?
So my husband moved us to Georgia. My husband runs a public defender agency in St. Croix and St. Thomas. So he had to stay. But he split our family so that I could follow my dreams. I mean, that's the ultimate sacrifice right there for me. He let me and our 2 children go to Georgia, to the mainland, so that I could pursue my career while he stays in the Virgin Islands to work and to provide for us. And he's like, go, make it happen. And then let's not talk about, financially, he had my back paying the bills and all of that stuff. And buying all that equipment, it ain't been cheap, buying interface and cloud lifters and speakers and, mics, all of that stuff costs a lot of money. And so he's heavily invested. I have to say, like, kudos to this man, because I don't know many other men or women who would actually do that. This is a big sacrifice. And that's on him trusting that I'm going to do what I was called to do, which is my purpose, which is my music. Because if I really turn around and I be like, man, I'm done with this. I would just go work another job. You know how much money this man done put into this thing, you know what I mean? And this is him, like, and not that that's gonna matter to him, because his ultimate thing is he wants me to be happy. But he's so heavily invested in this. Like, I mean, financially, emotionally, everything. We are separated as a family. And so every couple of months, when he got to take some time off, he'll come up here and spend some time with us. That's like 1 week, 2 weeks, a couple days maybe. And then we, like around the winter time, we would go home for like a month or two. But this is the longest that we have stayed. So this time we went in December, and we just literally returned a few days ago. So, I mean, he's heavily invested, not only financially, but emotionally, in everything, in every way. You know, he's sacrificed our whole family, everything, just split it apart so that I could follow my dreams. That's an awesome thing.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Where has there any artist had a major influence on your career?
Besides your sister?
Because you know I was gonna say, well, Desiree.
I mean, it could be multiple. It's a
Well, what I can do is tell you like some of my very favorite artists that I listen to a lot that do influence my music. Definitely Whitney Houston was one. Brian McKnight, Anita Baker, Celine Dion was a very big influence. Lauryn Hill. And I think for the most part, those are the more old school ones that definitely have a influence on my music. As of lately or recently, there are a few, like Sabrina Claudio. I love her vibe. Who else? I like Summer Walker. And there's a few, I just can't remember off the top of my head right now. Mortimer is definitely one of them. I love reggae, so I like Sizzla a lot. Capleton, yeah. But that's it so far.
How many albums have you recorded in your career?
I have one album, which is If I Could, and then I have one EP, and then I have like 2 singles out, and I have another album coming and a whole lot more music to come. So yeah, I have album words, like albums ready to drop. I just need to mix and master them out, which come with a financial burden. That thing I was telling y'all about, you gotta make sure you got to mix and master, and you get what you pay for. So you don't want to just send your thing to any and anybody to mix and master. You want to make sure that you get the best quality. You know, so
That's true.
Mixing and mastering don't come cheap. So I gotta take my time since we're doing this out of pocket. And I am an indie artist and I am not signed with any label. So I have nobody to just front the money. This coming out of our pocket, you know?
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
How do you, if you don't mind responding to this, how do you work out your vocals? Like, how do you, like, keep you, keep your vocals in condition?
So, I started out doing some vocal workouts with, I think it's Berkeley School. There's some vocal workouts that I do from this CD and DVD. It's a music university. I think it's Berkeley. I can't remember. But that's part of the routine. I also try to sing aside from my vocal workouts. I sing for at least an hour to 2 hours. And then for years, I have just been running every day, but I noticed that was too hard on my knees. So I started doing a lot more jump rope. So I jump rope with a weighted rope. So again, hubby and I work out together when we can work out together. So we incorporate jumping rope with some other strategic exercises to keep the adrenaline pumping and to exercise my lungs because I also have asthma. So that has been working out pretty well for me. So that's my routine. I drink a lot of water. I do vocal workouts and I sing for at least an hour to 2 hours, and then I jump rope and work out.
Any type of remedy for your throat or you sing?
I just drink a lot of water. I drink a lot of water, like a lot.
No lime and honey, no green tea, no nothing.
Nah, I if I do anything like that, is to repair the harshness on my throat. So like if I had a performance where it was a little too hard on my vocals because I couldn't hear myself too well, um, then I have a little remedy. Yes. I would do like the honey. I chop up garlic and I put it in there, and then I put some lemon in there, and then I let it sit there for at least a day or two, so it could car how do you say caramelize,
Yeah.
so that when I eat the garlic actually tastes like honey. You can't taste the spiciness of the garlic, but you still get the benefits. So that I actually do, like to repair my vocals if it was really hard on my throat when I was performing. Um, Aside from that, I drink tea every day. So I don't know if it helps or not, but I love tea. I am a bush tea head. So I had a drink a lot of lemongrass. I was in heaven when I went home because my mother had bay leaf. So I got bay leaf, I got lemongrass. I drink a lot of elderberry tea. Um, Moringa tea all the time. So I'm a tea head. I love tea. So I know that has benefited me in a lot of ways in terms of my vocal cords. But yeah.
We have two viewer questions. One is from Dr. Bryson. Do you still have such a wide range? Your range was crazy.
I still do. I just don't use it as much. But I still do. It's there. I have it in a couple of new songs too, so you'll be able to hear it. I think that it's even gotten better in terms of my range and the notes that I can hit now. So yeah.
We have a question here from Des. Are you Kenya? Are you Kenya about 6'1"? So did you ever thought about playing any sports?
So when I was in junior high at a Richards,
Whoop, whoop.
at A Richards, I wanted to play basketball, but my mother crushed my dreams. She was like, "Girl, child, I don't have money for that." So I just had to let that go. It's like either you singing or you playing sports. You can't do the two of them. And
Or
I chose
skipping.
singing. So I chose to sing. So I really wanted to play basketball, but I couldn't. I chose singing over basketball. When I got to complex, by then I had just lose all hope in sports. I didn't care about sports. So when I got there, I remember one of my gym teachers tried to get me interested in playing volleyball. So I caved a little bit. It was on my senior year. I did a little bit of volleyball, but I didn't actually play on the team. It was just like practice. But I didn't know that's probably the only sport that held my attention for more than an hour. I can't. I just never been an athletic person. So at least not when it comes to like playing sports.
Yeah, I hear you.
Also,
So,
go ahead, Karen. Go ahead.
okay. So you mentioned being an independent artist. Were there any music labels that were interested in you?
Not that I could think of right now, because I really wasn't pursuing them. So I never really had an interest in any labels. So I didn't put myself in a position to be viewed by them, I guess, if that makes sense. I just really wasn't concerned with it.
Okay. Go ahead, Mumba.
What and where can the viewers find your music that you have your album and your EP?
Well, definitely you could find my music on my website at www.kenyaheartmusic.com. That's www.kenyaheartmusic.com. Also, it's on all streaming platforms. Anywhere you could download music. It's on Spotify. I have some music on Pandora. It's also on Amazon. CD Baby. It's everywhere. Just type it in. It's on Apple Music, iTunes. It's there. So just type in my first and last name, Kenya Eugene, and it'll pop up.
I see you got merch too.
Yes, I do. They will be available on the website in a few weeks. In the meantime, if anybody wanted to purchase anything from me, they could just inbox me.
Okay. I'll be inboxing you.
Give thanks. I also designed my shirts too. So I did the graphic art for the shirts myself also.
That's awesome. So you do merchandising too then?
Yeah, I try nothing.
That's good.
Nice.
That's good.
Anything to pay the bills, man.
Gotta get them bills paid.
Right.
Yeah.
How was it transitioning to living in Georgia? Like I'm being away from your husband and home.
Being away from home wasn't too difficult because I've lived in Georgia before. I lived in Georgia for 11th grade. I spent 11th grade in Georgia and part of the summer. I have my oldest sister is here. One of my oldest sisters is here. I also have an older brother here in Georgia. I have cousins, nieces, and nephews that are nearby. So, and then I also have my sister-in-law here. So I'm heavily surrounded. My village is still here. So it hasn't been difficult transitioning. My best friend is also here. That's my kid's godmother. Actually, I have two of them here. So I mean, my village is here too. So it wasn't difficult in terms of the transition. Missing my husband, that has been incredibly difficult. Being away from somebody that you're accustomed to being with 24/7. So, but we have found ways around that. We always FaceTime. We pray together as a family every night, every morning, and we communicate. So that has made up for it. Like, the kids get to speak to their dad, throughout the day. And then we always make sure we pray together, which is important to us as a family. So yeah.
How has your older brother been an influence to you?
Well, I have two. One was born in St. Lucia, but he's living here in Georgia. And then I have another older brother that was born in St. Croix. He's on St. Croix. His journey has unfortunately been really difficult. And so he has turned to a different path in life, not one that I could necessarily take a positive example from. But I knew what I didn't want to do with my life. And I saw the direct impact that certain things in our family has had on him. And so I take an example from that. Although he's doing a lot better now. My older brother here in Georgia has not really been a major part of my life because I met him when I was young in elementary. He lived with us for a few years, and then I think he went back to St. Lucia, and then he ended up in Georgia. So when I moved to Georgia, I hadn't seen him since I was a little girl. So it was so awesome reconnecting with him, and getting to know my cousins that I didn't know I had before, and families. It was awesome, like reconnecting with him. But he lives like an hour away. I don't like to drive. So
Uh,
my sister lived closer to me, so I go see him like on like holidays or some stuff like that, or whenever my husband is here and he could take that trot with me.
yeah. Awesome. That's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
That's good.
That's good.
yeah.
Okay. So take us into Kenya, the actress now, because you mentioned that you've been on a couple of shows that I recognize, like Greenleaf. I watch Greenleaf religiously, okay? So that's one of my favorite shows. So kind of take us into that transition. Like, how did you get started in acting?
So with the acting, I started in St. Thomas. Have you guys heard of Timeless? Timeless was
No, I don't think so.
written and produced by Ed Laborde. Um, the movie was shot in St. Thomas and St. Croix. It's a VI love story. Um, I also, You Are My World is also in the movie. Timeless, I knew Ed personally, and so I kind of got thrown into it because he asked me to do it. So I was like, okay. So I ended up being like the African warrior princess, co-star to Kamisha Counts, who was our leading lady. And we had some other dope actors and actors and actresses in that movie. But that was my first acting gig. And I actually was surprised that I did so well, that I really enjoyed myself. I had a really good time recording the movie. And so that was my first taste of it. Then when I moved to Georgia, a friend of mine was like, man, I need to find something to do in the interim until the music starts to kick off. And so she told me that she got registered with some casting companies, and she's gonna try. I was like, well, you try it out and let me know how that work out for you, and then I gonna come. So then she tried it, and it worked out pretty well. So she was like, okay, it was good, Kenneth. So I was like, okay. And so I went and I registered with that one company, and I liked it so much that I started registering with a bunch of other casting companies, because then when you go, you network, you meet other actresses and actors, and they turn you on to other companies that you could register with and whatnot. And so that was pretty awesome. I actually landed a gig with my first movie. It was Infinity Wars. It was
Call
You
of
talking
Duty.
Avengers? Infinity?
Yes,
Really?
yeah, where Thanos talked about they showed the history of his family, like why they killed off people, what he had to, whatever the drama was, where he was going around collecting the rings or something like that.
Yeah.
I was in that. I was a part of Thanos's tribe, but we were so far in the distance you couldn't even make us out anyway. I feel like they waste their money,
Wow.
but I was happy as they just pay me. I good.
That's dope. Wow.
Hey,
That's
that's a big
crazy.
movie, man. So hey.
Yeah, yeah, we had to be really hush hush about it. You couldn't tell anybody anything until the movie was out. It was finished. It was really fun.
Yeah.
Aside from that, I got to do some other shows, like Greenleaf. Um, those were really fun.
Is that the show on Oprah Winfrey Network?
Yes,
Mhm.
yeah, and
What
I did
character were you
also.
in Greenleaf?
I was in a choir. Go figure.
No, I gotta go back and look for you. I can't believe I didn't recognize you. I watched that
Yeah.
special
I
every
was
single
bald
time.
then. I was bald then. So
Okay, I gotta go back and check.
um I was also in a Netflix series called Insatiable. What else? The
Hey,
Gifted. The Gifted is a was a spin-off. It's a Marvel series, The Gifted.
I
And
watched that definitely.
I got a reoccurring role on The Gifted. I worked for months with them. I was working for the Inner Circle, which was the bad guys.
That guy's
So I was their waitress. So you could see me a couple of times in there. I've been in there for a few episodes. They kept calling me back, so it was fun. Um,
That's
and
what's
then I
up.
did, yeah, I
I
did
gotta
the life
watch The Gifted.
story. I did the life story of Bobby Brown. But I haven't had a chance to look at it to see if I even saw myself. But I did the life story of Bobby Brown.
The one on
Um,
BET.
yes,
Oh wow.
yeah.
Okay, what character were you in that one?
I was a special attendee at the show where they were booing Whitney Houston. Um, it was an award show. I think it was Soul Train. I can't remember which
I
one it
think it was
was.
the BET Awards or one of them. Yeah, I know what you're
Yes.
talking about.
So I
Yeah.
was in that scene, and then I was also at the concert and at the funeral for uh not Whitney. I don't think it was Whitney Houston. I can't remember, but I was at a funeral.
You knew
But it's
his
a
mom.
couple of days. It's been. I think it was his mother's funeral. That's what it was. Because Whitney came
Mm-hmm.
and Bobby Christina was there too. Actually, got to meet Bobby Brown on that day.
That
So
is
that was pretty
awesome.
awesome. He was there making sure everything was, to his liking and whatnot. I met Babyface there also. So that was pretty awesome to be able to meet those people in real life, you know. Um, yeah.
What's the
That's
name of
great.
the? What's the name of? You said a Netflix show is called In. I can't. I didn't.
Insatiable.
How you spell that? Insatiable.
Insatiable. I think it's insatiable or insatiable. I can't remember. It's been a while.
Okay. Oh, definitely. Okay. Sweet. Perfect.
I'm a pageant coach in that one.
Pageant coach.
Yeah.
Okay.
Insatiable.
But
Insatiable.
yeah.
Yeah, it has three seasons.
Yes, that
Already researching.
was short lived.
Nice.
And I
Nice.
think they discontinued The Gifted. There was also another show that
Man, I vexed that discontinued because I really was into that one.
yeah,
I thought the graphics and so on, all of that, but still, it was
I was
because like
into it. I really liked it.
yeah,
I
because I'm into Marvel, the storylines is what I just stick to.
Yeah.
So I was a little disappointed, but it looks like they discontinued it because they haven't been doing anything for the
Nothing.
past 1 or 2 years now. So
Been longer than that.
yeah,
Well, you would know better than me, but it feels like it's been longer than that. I think the
it's
last
probably been. Let's see.
yeah, it's been about 3 years since I watched
It's
that
been
series.
about 3 years because
Yeah.
I think the last time I did anything was like 2018. I think it was 2018, somewhere around there. I can't remember.
I definitely gonna go back and look so I could look for you.
Okay.
So any of your scenes like when they were like off in space, because you know how I think they started off, if my memory serves me correct, they started off in space and then some of them came down to Earth.
I was in the separate headquarters. You
Hmm.
know, I can't remember her name, but she was one of the main actors. What was that show? Like the family was called the Lions. That music show, man. Or that
Empire.
series. Empire. Okay.
Yeah.
Remember the light skinned girl
Yeah. She used
in
to have
Empire? And
the
she messed with Hakeem and the father.
yeah, she used to do
Okay, I
the
know who you're
screaming
talking
thing
about.
to
Yes,
she used to scream and mess up your ears in the
yes.
show.
So I
Yeah.
was working for her. I worked for them.
Okay,
So
I definitely going back and look for you now.
yeah, when
Yeah.
you look at when they moved to their own headquarters.
Quarters,
So
yeah.
I was there
So that's when she captured the main girl that they were
with
looking
the
for.
green hair.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I worked for them.
That's dope. That's
That
dope.
was pretty awesome, man. Like,
That is awesome. Oh my goodness.
So we got a question here from Dr. Bryson I want to get to. Have you ever thought of modeling?
oh yeah, I modeled for a while. So most of you don't know, I was previously married before my present husband. Um, that was a difficult one. When I came out of that marriage, I was really stressed and going through a lot. And one of the things that were recommended to me was modeling, and go figure is by a doctor, because I was like passing out and I didn't know what was wrong. So I went to the doctor because I used to teach and I passed out in front of my students. And he was like, they run all kind of tests, and he was like, it's stress. It can't be anything else. And he's like, you need to find a way to release that stress. So he was like, why don't you go model or something? Like, there's so many things that you could do, but model, that should help, channel the stress to, somewhere else. But it's not gonna be staying bottled up in you. And he's like, go to the club, go party, do something. So I took his advice, and I went partying.
That's not bad. That's not bad though. So that's good.
No, I started lining for real, but then I also started to model. I used to drop my cousin model with Cindy's models in the aisles. And I used to wait outside in the car for her. And then I was like, oh, go figure, this man tell me I need to start modeling or something. So I started going in. And then all of a sudden, Cindy asked me about modeling with them. So I started taking classes. And then after the classes, I started doing really well, to the point where I think Jason Gardner was visiting, and he really liked what he saw in me. And so actually took me to New York and moved to New York to model for his company, Uptown Model Management. And so I did really well up there in New York for a while, but then things started to get a little slow. And then I was going between, Connecticut and New York for a little while. And then I decided to come back home because the music was just calling me. And I felt like I couldn't trust anybody in the music world in New York because I didn't know anybody, really and truly. And one of the things that he told me was like, everybody got business card in New York, so watch yourself.
Right.
Everybody got business card, you know what I'm saying?
It's so
And so they could smell you, they could smell fair, So it's like one of the things I always kept in mind, like everybody have a business card. I don't know who really have a studio. I don't know anybody like that that could give me the guidance I need in that area. And so I was like, after a while, I decided I gotta go back home. I have to focus on my music. I was like, I tour all over the place. Let me focus on my music, do out my music first, and then everything else could come after. Because although I had a wonderful runway walk, I prefer print modeling. I prefer to take pictures than to model on a runway. And New York for me was mostly about modeling on the runway. I think that's what people were more attracted to with me because my legs were really, really long. And so maybe that's what that was. But I didn't really like runway modeling as much as I like print. And I wanted to refocus on my music. Like the music was just calling me, and I just couldn't do it in New York. So I went back home and refocused, you know. So that's what happened. But I did model, and then when I came back home, I still modeled. When I came back home I went to St. Thomas. I did some modeling in St. Thomas and in St. Croix, but I did a lot more modeling in St. Thomas for a little while. I met some designers, some awesome designers in St. Thomas. So yeah.
So
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
You have a range. You are a triple threat. You acting, you singing, and modeling.
Yeah.
You definitely got a triple
Give
threat going
thanks,
on.
give
It's good.
thanks, give
I definitely
thanks.
gonna. I wrote down all of those movies and TV series that you've been in. So I never
Okay.
saw Greenleaf. I never saw Insatiable. So I'm gonna watch those two. I'm definitely gonna go
Mhm.
back and watch Gifted to see if I see you in. And I think the part that you say you was with the circle, I think that was season two. If they had a season two, but I know it was more to the end.
It was more towards the end.
Okay, so it could be the end of season one, um, beginning of season two, because I know she was with the good guys for the majority of the beginning, and then coming towards to the end where they tried to turn her,
Yeah.
inflate some stuff in her head. That's when they capture she and give her. She wanted to leave the good people anyway, so because they were too weak.
Yeah, and that's what she felt. But as soon as she left and went with them, that's when I became a part of it.
Actress, so I know where to look then,
Yeah.
because that's the
Yeah.
time when she wanted to kill, they didn't want to kill, and
They
that's when
were too
she,
soft. They were too
yeah,
soft.
she left the good guys and went to the bad guys because they
I had
both
so much fun recording that. It was so fun. The cast was just
That
awesome
was
to be.
good. That was good. You had
Gifted,
fun.
Insatiable, Greenleaf, and you mentioned one more thing you said.
Life story of Bobby Brown.
Life. Well,
Yeah, life
I ain't
story of
watching.
Bobby
Sorry,
Brown.
I ain't watching
What
that
do you
kind of life.
mean? That was a good series too. It was like a
But
two-part
you can
story or
also check
something. It
out
was good.
on Netflix. You could check out No Regrets. Check out
I
No
think I
Regrets.
watched that.
I'm not in the movie, but my song is in the movie. You Are My
Oh
World.
yeah, you
Oh,
did. Yeah,
okay.
no
Well, I could
regrets. Yep, that's
definitely
good.
listen to that. It got a song. It got a soundtrack.
Yes, they should have a soundtrack. I'm not sure, but I know that it's definitely they do have a soundtrack.
That's
Yeah.
good,
It's
man.
on DVD also.
You mentioned earlier, and I was so interested in that, but I lost my train of thought when, or I lose my opportunity to ask that question. You said you have a song that you shopping for a movie right now. How does that work? How do you shop your song for a movie?
So there are different ways you can do it. You could try to contact them directly.
Hmm?
Like the I guess lack of a better word right now, like the music directors of each show or each movie or whatnot. Or you could go through a publisher um to deal with that. Since the publisher. I have went both ways. So we work in both angles.
How is
But
how,
but
how
they
is
get a cut. If I do it myself, then I eat everything.
Yeah,
good,
that's true.
good. Hopefully you
That's
get you
true.
with yourself. Um,
Yeah.
That's true.
is there a difference in the residuals for movie music versus your own music? Is there a difference in the check that you get?
You will definitely get a fatter check with the movie, depending on the budget, how big budget. If it's a big budget movie, big big screen. Depending on how well the movie does. Depending on what kind of contract you work out with them in terms of how much you want, or if you're going to just accept royalties, or you're going to do royalties plus um, a pay cut or a check or whatnot. And then with your music, there are several different ways to make money. You can make your money based on your royalties with like BMI or ASCAP. Um, and you can also make your money through your sales or your streams on the different platforms or Amazon or whatnot. And then there's other ways you can make music, not only as a songwriter, but there's another way you can make music by just singing on a record. So there are different avenues. You just have to know which one, or you just have to know how to find them.
So, so any books in the making?
How did you been reading my mind or something? But with the new album, with a new album coming out, I actually have a kids book in the making to go along with one of the songs. I think I'm not sure exactly when I want to list it because we in the process of working on what do you call it? Like the picture, the illustration for the book. But there is a little book in the making.
Nice.
And it's for one of the songs is called Shine Your Light, featuring my twins. So they're actually going to be singing on that song.
Oh, that's what's up.
They're going to be on the album.
Keep it all in the family. That's the best.
Yes.
Mentioning the twins, because I was gonna ask you this question: how does your kids react to your music? Are they critics? Do they love the music? Is it some that they be like, "Mommy, I don't like that"?
They are my worst critics.
You know, kids are brutally honest.
Listen, I have one song called All I Need. And the music for this song is very gothic, right? It's a very seductive song, but the music is a little gothic. And my son just thinks it's so scary. And he's like, Mommy, I just don't like that song. I don't like it. It's too scary. I don't think you should do this song. And I'm like, it's already done. What are you talking about? But he doesn't like that song. Or if they hear me singing something, my come like, Mommy, that's kind of whack.
Oh, wow.
They'll say it's whack. Like they seriously, they'll diss me. Mommy, that's kind of whack. Or they'll come and be like, Mom, I love this song. Can you sing it again? Can you sing it again? Or they'll come in and they'll offer suggestions. Mommy, I think you should say this word instead of that word. What do you think? You know, so they're my biggest critics, my biggest fans, my biggest helpers at the same time.
That's awesome.
And they know all the lyrics to all my songs.
That's what's up. Soon they're gonna be performing them.
Soon. My daughter was like, Mommy, can I come on the stage with you for this show? I was like, not yet, baby. We gotta wait for your song. But she ready.
That song that remind me. I used to watch a show on called Nashville,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just like a whole family that used to sing from the mother. The mother was famous to her two daughters to her husband.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a country song, and I love country music because country music that tells stories.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
I love country
Listen,
music.
I grew up listening to country and western. Tell you where my parents from. They're from St. Lucia. And they love country and
so they
western.
love country music. Yeah.
They love it. I mean, they love it. So I think that's where I think that has heavily influenced my songwriting skills because they tell stories. And my music, if you listen to it, it tells stories from point A to point B. Like you gain a story, this is what happened, you know. So I think I would say that's how it has influenced me.
So Kenya, we kind of winding down, you know.
Okay.
So how you feeling? How everything going? You enjoying
Awesome.
yourself?
It's been fun talking to you guys, man. It's been really cool.
This is a celebrity. She's used to this. You should be asking me and Carrie Ann how we doing. This is a celebrity. We in the presence of greatness.
Oh, give thanks, man. Give thanks.
That's
It's been awesome. It's been awesome and pretty relaxing talking to you. You know.
I mean, probably you should be used to this because this is episode 67, so we've been in front of a lot of celebrities. You know,
I was nervous coming on.
So, whatever. Oh, man. No, man, it's been cool. I love it. Y'all chill and laid back and fun. I like the honesty and the questions and the realness of the show. And I really like it. I appreciate it. And I appreciate that you guys support a lot of the local, like, I don't like saying local, but a lot of the business entrepreneurs and you know, the businesses out of the Virgin Islands and our people. That's real dope.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Especially Mumba to wear everybody's shirt. I don't even know where to get some of these stuff. I always see Mumba with something.
I mean, you don't be paying attention.
Hey.
Yeah, I see Legends 340 hat and t-shirt.
Legends 340.
That's another classmate.
Yep,
I
another
got
classmate
I
for
got in
real.
the shot too, but you can't really see it, you know.
Oh yeah, we are not the same.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
Yeah, man.
yeah. So
That's
yeah,
awesome. I love that. I love that y'all support your own.
yeah,
You know, that's pretty awesome.
yeah, definitely. We definitely got to
Yeah.
support.
And all the links them coming across the screen, okay?
I don't be paying attention to all that.
See,
Look, I definitely need to
that's fun.
check out Francilia Benjamin. She's an artist out of St. Croix also. She's pretty dope. Um, she's got a good bit of music out there and she is doing her thing. Like
Message me. I think.
literally. I'm sorry?
Sorry, message me her info when when you get time.
I will. I will. I will. But she's pretty awesome. I think you would like her music. She, you know, did her thing. She performed on the show in St. Croix and St. Thomas, and they were so impressed. They were so impressed. Everybody was like, "Where has she been?" But I said, "I've been right here in St. Croix. I don't understand how everybody don't know her name. She's so amazing." And a lot of her new music I need to listen out for it because she has like a jazz twist to her reggae and it's amazing. It is beautiful, like absolutely beautiful and a perfect combination of seduction too, like with the whole reggae vibe. So I love it. And some jazz up in there. So definitely look up.
Yeah,
I'm gonna text you her information when we're done, Mumba.
when you
Definitely. Do
get
you
Mumba,
guys?
text it to me because I can't spell. Your thing ain't coming up.
We the same pang. I can't spell either. That's why I asked Kenya all you to spell that for me. I ain't ashamed. That's one thing, brother. I ain't gonna even try.
Well, I
I go
tried.
ask.
I
Yeah.
tried, and nothing came up. So I know I ain't spelling her name right.
Yeah, so definitely, I could definitely send that to you too and send it to everybody.
For
Do you
sure.
guys plan to collaborate, or you guys have songs together?
We don't have anything together yet, but I don't see that as not being something possible in the future. We just ain't even crossed that bridge yet, but we've been doing works together, like her coming out and doing the show with me on both occasions. That was amazing. And so we have been working together in that way. But yeah, I could definitely see collaborating in the future. There we go. That's the correct spelling.
There you
missing
go.
I'm
Alrika?
missing an
Yeah.
L.
Eureka.
I'm missing an L in her first name. So I was
Yes.
close.
Yeah,
What
you
about
do better than me.
Sharice King? Have you
Sharice King is awesome. Yeah, I have worked with Sharice King already. Funny story. Remember that story I tell you about me performing at the India Ari show?
Yeah.
yeah.
Sharice King and Francilia were backing me on that show.
Okay.
They both backed
Nice.
me on that
Nice
show.
too.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice.
So yeah, definitely, yeah.
I follow
And
I
Sharice
follow
dope.
Sharice King on Facebook, but not Francilia yet. So I can start to follow Francilia.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. She definitely has a really sweet vibe, yo.
I meant to
I did
ask you
find
in
on
the recent
YouTube.
concert that you did, who was your backup artist? Because the harmony was off the chain.
That was Francilia.
That was Francilia?
That
Oh,
was
goodness.
Francilia and Dwayne Morris, aka Harmony, one of my keyboard man. So he was also doing backup for me, and so was Francilia. And then she also performed her own set. So yeah, that's why the harmony was dope like that
Oh
because
my
I had
goodness. Yeah.
Francilia and harmony backing me. So that was the awesome thing about it.
That's dope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
I
definitely
definitely gotta look her up now. Yeah.
you gotta look her up. She's dope. She's pretty dope. And she's really professional. Like, I didn't have any problems with how we're learning any of the music. She had already know most of the songs, but you know,
Yeah, that was awesome.
thank you, man. We had so much fun.
So what about upcoming concerts? Are there any concerts that you're planning on doing in the near future?
Right now we are scheduled hopefully to do something. There's some talks about having some stuff done in Georgia. Um, Nothing solid yet. I have to wait until it is solid before I could really say more about it. But some talk game fling wrong. And then we have the album coming out hopefully in the summertime. But before that, we plan to release Bonnet, which is one of the crowd favorites. So it's gonna be the next release that we've been planning. We have the artwork and everything waiting. We're going through the last phase of mixing right now, and then get it mastered, and then we can push it out there. We gotta get the video done hopefully soon too. So that's what's up next for me in terms of like live performances. Only like 1 or 2 in the wind right now, but it's not anything really solid. Yeah, so that's where we are right now per se. That I know of, that I could say I personally know of. Anything else I may have to talk to Samuel. I'm really not sure.
Do you guys do like listening parties and stuff like that before your album drop?
I haven't done a listening party, but we have talked about doing one. I did talk about doing like a little show kind of like to like you hear all the songs that are going to be on the album, or a listening party, but we're not settled on anything yet. And I'm not sure if I want to take that financial hit again right now.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I listened to Francilia Benjamin singing Santa Baby.
You hear that deep, seductive voice?
She got a nice voice.
She has a solid, wonderful voice. I mean, I love her tone. Her tone is what gets me. Like, she hits those really low notes that I can't quite get. And if I get them, it's like touch and go. I gotta do it real quick and come back out quick. Because my voice is just not meant for down there. I could definitely appreciate her tone, man. Her voice is amazing.
I got an idea, Kenya. It's a good one too.
Okay.
Let's in the near future, let's set something up where you and Fasila do something live on the podcast. A nice duet, you know.
Okay.
We think about that.
We ain't gotta talk more about that on the side.
Mumba, we need a drum line for your ideas there, because you always come up with
That's a
ideas.
good idea.
we need a segment for
That's
your
a really good
ideas.
idea.
You always giving us the idea.
But be careful with Mumba, okay? There
You want
is
credit.
exactly. There is a contingency.
Not this one. Not this one. This one is different. This is different. This is an elementary classmate. So you know,
we go way back.
Yeah, we go way back. This is different. So
just make sure you read the fine print.
Way back behind the scenes, that's when he gonna start talking money when the show go off.
no.
Okay. He gonna go for every sale. I want my 10%.
I want my 10%.
Yeah, no.
No, that's actually a pretty good idea. It's a really good idea. I didn't even think about that.
Or even Mumba, we had talks about a intro song.
That would be dope. That would be dope.
We have a special artist, and maybe
Mumba, you don't gotta talk to management about that one.
I didn't bring up that idea.
Samuel.
I know when to bring up ideas.
You don't gotta talk to management about that.
I got you.
You know what? Honestly,
I am always willing.
We gonna talk. I'm gonna talk to management. Because at the end of the day, we supporting you. So we gonna talk about that. That's right. No problem whatsoever. I'm not even gonna set a trip on that for sure. Definitely. That's our love and support. So definitely.
I appreciate that.
Definitely, yeah.
I'm gonna make sure I talk to him and tell him don't hit how you had.
Yeah, please.
So he'll hit you a number.
I get to see what the numbers is. That's hard or not.
No. I'm not gonna make him. I'm gonna talk to him.
That would be nice though.
No. We good. Well, this was an awesome interview. I really appreciate it, guys. Y'all kept me laughing.
All right, I got some questions before you leave though.
Okay.
I got to find a name for my questions, like I don't know. I'll figure
The
it
fun
out.
hitters.
The fun hitters, okay, Pang, the fun hitters, the Mumba fun hitters questions,
The Mumba fun hitters.
Yeah, So first questions: 5 artists you dream of working with.
Well, I tell I one already. Mortimer, Chronix, Damian Marley.
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
that would be dope. That would be
I could see
fire.
that.
Wow,
Yeah.
man, that would be fire.
Gentleman would
That's
be
true.
nice. One more. I like shit. I like Queen Omega. It's a toss up between Queen Omega and Queen Africa.
You could train the two of them. We change it to 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honorary mention.
Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, that's dope. Good artist. Do you play any instruments?
Nope, just these vocal cords.
Mm.
I've been trying to learn how to play the guitar, but I ain't consistent enough. Guitar just sitting down there. And then I was away for like a few months and I didn't go with my guitar, so I won't practicing. So I gotta refresh myself. But so far the only thing I play is the vocal cords.
It's the best anyway. So
Okay. You play them well, so keep it up.
Thank you.
Look at Carrie, I'm trying to get points. You see that, Pang? You see that?
Points for
You see
what?
that?
I don't need
that?
10%, Mumba. I'm good.
Mumba is
Are you
a
together? What the two are you artists together?
Me and
Mumba?
No, the two are you up Carrion and
No.
No.
Okay.
no.
No.
So you Mumba age then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mumba is still a baby.
Mumba, don't tell them how old you is.
Oh, we already
Mumba is
know.
still a baby, man.
We already know.
Pang is Mumba still a baby.
He looked like he's still in high school too.
In that case, I'm a little younger than Mumba.
Okay, we'll take that.
Probably 1 year.
Look at Mumba
1 or 2
trying to
years.
figure it out. See, he gonna tell us how old you are now because we know how old he is.
Stop, Mumba. Stop. Come on, man.
I ain't gonna believe Kenya age because look how she look, brother. So
I
trust me.
know
Yeah.
she still look the same.
Yeah. She looked 25. So
What? Thank you, my son. I'll take that.
I'm just hey, if Carrie gave Brody points and Pang gave Brody points, I'm trying to get Brody points too. So I'm just saying.
What brownie points again?
We ain't looking for points. We ain't looking for points. We telling the truth.
I was just about to say I speak in facts.
No, we speaking
You know
facts,
what I mean?
but you speaking facts looking for brownie points. That's what my
We
point
ain't
is.
looking for no brownie points, but we see where you going with it.
No, Pang said, remember when Pang said earlier about we this is a superstar, he was novice? That's his brownie points.
But no,
Okay.
Facts. See, I listening. Okay, so where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years?
In 5 to 10 years, I don't take it over.
That's what's up.
Mm,
In 5 to 10 years,
love that.
I see myself already attaining like way beyond my dreams, my sacrifices, beyond where I actually see myself a year from now. I see myself surpassing my dreams. I see myself owning multiple businesses. I see myself being financially, I don't like staying stable, but doing financially well, like beyond well, because we're building wealth not only for ourselves, but to be able to pass down to our children.
Generational wealth.
Yeah, I see myself surpassing, the musical industry in terms of where I thought I would be in a year or a year ago or a year from now, I see myself doing great things, like being internationally known and being financially well off. I see myself achieving generational wealth. Look, Des, you funny. I
Right
see,
there, I want my 10%.
you know,
Yeah,
right now I'm working on my kids are about to be entrepreneurs, you know.
that's dope.
We invest in, we're into investing our money and trading stocks and stuff like that. So we're building wealth in different avenues and not just focusing on music. So, you know, I see myself doing a lot of great things, and achieving all of the goals that my family and I set for ourselves.
Nice.
That's what's up, man.
Very
That's
nice.
what's up for real.
Definitely diversify your portfolio for sure.
Definitely. Definitely.
5 words that describe you.
Oh, Lord. Loving, funny, um, down to earth, uh, talented, beautiful. How many words was that so far? Like 4?
That's
Yeah,
5.
4.
That's
That's 5. They won't count
that's
them.
5? Okay. So then
Don't
we're
trust
good.
them, they can't.
I was trying to get extra. I was just trying to
Don't
get
trust
extra
me.
on
We're
it.
gonna
You
trust your
could try
carrier.
6 if you want. You could try 6 if you want.
That's what I was trying. Yeah, she was on a roll, so I was like, okay, you want more? That's cool.
We can't count number.
Yeah, we can't count. We can't count.
You see who was skipping class.
Man, I don't know what it is with some, but Langalo and Carrie Ann just dissing we all day.
Right,
Man.
right.
All episode we get
What?
dissed by Carrie
What?
Ann
I
and
don't-
Langalo, brother.
I don't be watching, reading Langolo comments and she always trade jobs.
Yeah, man.
Always.
I ain't
Carry
trying
on
jobs. I
along
just
with
I just speaking facts. That's it. That's it.
I never skip an Arthur Carrion, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh my goodness, man. We need to pull up the episode after this.
He know he used to skip.
Big Doc is where my class was. How about that?
Okay, so in that case, you didn't skip. You were
No,
always
not at all. My teacher met me at Big Doc every day.
there. You go.
Crazy. This is not
There
crazy.
you have it.
This is not crazy. Okay.
And lunch, the lunchroom was in Wendy's upstairs.
Oh
Wow.
goodness.
There you go.
Crazy.
There you have it.
I got 3 more questions for you, Kenya.
Okay.
What does love mean to you?
Oh my gosh.
That's a good one. That's a good question, and it's gonna turn out to be a good song after this.
Love is
10%.
life, man. Love is life. Love is everything to me, you know. Love is being able to accept people as they are. Period. If you can accept somebody for who they are and not try to change them, that is love. That's unconditional love. You know, there's some things that you might not want to live with or be able, some things that may bother you about that person or whatnot. Trying to change them is not going to work. You have to love them unconditionally, love them for who they are, and eventually they will see what makes you happy. And they're going to want to make you happy in that way. They're going to want to change certain things about themselves or adjust certain things about themselves so they could be the best person for you. So for me, I think love is accepting people for who they really are.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah, well said.
Thank you.
Who would you like? Which actor would you like to play your life story in a movie?
Oh my gosh.
It's a good question.
That's a really good one. Huh. Well, my favorite actress is
Megan Good.
Angela Bassett.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
maybe I just thinking about Megan Good.
You just like Megan.
Mhm.
His mind are making good. This guy crazy.
Man, I love Angela Bassett, yo. I like all the roles that she has played. They're very respectable roles. A strong female, but also very emotional, and she knows how to bring it to you. You know, I would probably say Angela Bassett.
Nice.
If
Yeah.
you never watch this show, 911, she
Oh
stars
yeah,
in it.
I
Yeah,
watch
yeah.
it.
Even that one.
911, yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Love
Yeah.
911.
911
I
dude.
watch it
Nice.
all the time. Yeah, I love it. I love it.
So my last question for Pan, what's the name of this Mumba Quick Hitters as you say it was?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mumba, no, Mumba, what did no, Fave hit something.
We already forget. That's how
Right,
bad we
Something
right.
are.
hitters.
You gotta rewind it.
We gonna gotta play back the tape. We gonna gotta play back the tape.
Okay. Okay. Kenya 5 dinner guests, dead or alive?
OMG. Okay. Bob Marley.
Nice.
Um, Luther Vandross. Um, gosh, what's his name? Donny Hathaway. I'd like to get in the same room with. It would be good to sit down and talk to Whitney Houston,
Mhm.
um, Anita Baker. I think that's it there, right?
Yeah, that's 5. Yeah.
And
It's like it's
that's just on the musical side of things.
that's a dope list.
That's a good list, yeah.
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 Man, did it feel like we were sitting down talking for 3 hours? Almost 3 hours?
OMG. Like for real, dude?
Not at all.
That's what it would. I'm telling you, man, it'll
It
be going
went
by
by
quick.
really fast.
Yeah.
Everybody that Mumba to invite, the fun hitters, that's it. Mumba
Persha, you
fun
got
hitters.
it. Yeah, fun hitters. We got 10% for you, Persha.
Ain't no way in this. Mumba have 10% for you per se.
Clarify it, girl. Clarify it.
You gotta give her part of your cut, Mumba.
Exactly.
I got you. I got her. She blessed us with a dope, amazing interview. So definitely gonna got to give her 10%.
Facts.
So
Facts.
yeah. So
Oh, man.
But
Kenya,
yeah,
you survived, Kenya, you survived.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
everybody that come out with the intentions of being out for like an hour or two the most, but it'll be fun, it'll be relaxing, it'll be just shooting the breeze, and the
Right.
time to just go by fast. And we're not we're not really like question driven, we just want you to tell your story, and then the
Yeah.
question just come out of from you talking, and the more questions we ask, the more interesting your story is. So
Yeah.
definitely is an interesting one. I learned a lot today. Again, before today, I didn't know who Kenya Eugene was, but I will know Kenya Eugene. I will know your catalog because I love music and I listen to all types of music. So I will sit down and listen to your stuff and add you to my playlist, definitely. And looking forward to hearing more from you. Looking forward to your album, and I definitely gonna go back and watch some of them shows because that's another thing I like to do too. I don't watch almost anything on TV. I could get into anything. So
Awesome.
I can definitely go back and watch some of those shows. So see if I could find you in there, especially Gifted, because I really like Gifted.
Yeah.
But I learned a lot today, and appreciate you for taking the time to sit down and chill with us and just share your story. So amazing.
Thank you guys for having me. I had a really good time. Thank you
good.
so much. And Mumba, thank you for even thinking about me to bring me on here today. I really appreciate it.
Oh, you already know, man. I love you. You my sister, man. I love I definitely appreciate you for coming on. Yeah, you're doing big things. You definitely are a role model, and it's amazing for me. It's amazing seeing someone and not just you, but all the individuals that are doing their thing. For someone that you grew up with from since elementary, so we going back to single digit ages, and it's just amazing just to see who you have become, what you have transformed into, and you're doing great things. Last time I saw you was carnival time.
Yeah.
So me, you and Hanim, we
Yes.
chop it up. I think you've been there
I
too.
was with my husband and the twins.
He
Yeah.
took the picture, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
he took the
he
picture.
took the picture.
So where's the picture?
I think I look for it. I go send it to
But
you.
that should have been one
I
of the
know,
pictures you pop
right?
on the. Come on.
No,
I didn't even know Mumbai take photos.
Either both eye there. You should have put the eye up there.
no, it's me, Kenya, and Hanim in the photo.
Hanim.
It
It's all
doesn't
about.
matter. The both are you in the picture. That picture should have been up on the invite and the brochure.
True.
That should have been up there.
Thank
Come
you,
on,
Miss
man.
Bryson.
That's a good one, Punk. That's a good one. No, but man, I'm just honestly, I'm just proud of you, and getting a chance to really hear your story. It was amazing. It was
Thank
amazing.
you.
Yeah, you're always positive. So I'm gonna definitely be supporting you and everything that you're doing. So definitely, I mean, we definitely gonna be in contact. So I definitely wish you the best, and like Pang said, we definitely gonna be supporting you. So I appreciate you
Yes,
giving us your
thanks.
time.
Give thanks. Blessings. Thank you so much for having me. Like I said, it was really fun. I enjoyed all 3 hours of it. Let's do it again, guys.
Okay.
Absolutely, man. Anytime you're ready,
Absolutely.
absolutely. Even if you want to
Anytime.
come back on and promote your album, we'd love to have you back and talk about the album.
Pang, don't say them kind of thing in that as hold people to the word.
Hey, no, man, Mumba is very good at keeping his word.
I like how he said Mumba is very good at keeping
I
his
see
word.
what he did,
Not
right?
that Pang.
Yes,
Very good at keeping
yes,
his word.
yes. Finally, somebody caught Pang. Finally, got caught. Yes.
Mumba is
Some
definitely
subliminal
good at keeping
messages
his
being
word.
thrown out there.
Pang is very iffy. Pang gonna be late. Pang might be here. He might, you can't hold Pang till he want. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
okay.
So,
Well, you know what?
but
Honesty
for,
is great.
right. But for real though, we would love to have you back, and you could definitely use our platform to talk about your album. Absolutely.
Give thanks. Give
That would be
Oh,
thanks.
for
good if
sure.
you did your listening party virtually.
Haha.
There you go.
There
Using the
goes another really good idea.
minimize your costs, right? Just give Mumba 10% and he's good.
No 10%.
Oh my gosh,
No
there we go with the
10%.
10% again, man.
There is no 10% here. Not with Kenya. No 10%. No 10%. No 10%.
Kenya, just make sure. I know Sam gonna read the fine print first anyway, so it's all good. Sam gonna make sure if it's free, right? Just
Okay.
with
I
Mumba,
don't
there's always
Langalo,
a
I don't
10%
subscribe to her
somewhere.
page, so I don't remember. But definitely I even click the bell, so whenever she have any new posts and stuff, I'm got a little notification on my phone. So
Give
definitely
thanks.
a subscriber.
Give thanks. This was so
Yeah.
fun, guys. For real though.
Yeah. Real quick too. I want to y'all make sure y'all tune into the YouTube to support the VI Women's National Team game time. Game time. When is the game time, Langalo? And
I thought they had done win.
I think they done play already. I think so. It was at 3 or was it 6 p.m.? I can't remember. I think it's 6 p.m. Eastern. It was 3 my time, something like that.
Okay. No, she said no.
Oh, it's right now.
Yeah.
Oh, so 6 p.m. my time. Okay.
We have Senator Whitaker coming on tomorrow, 7 p.m. I'll definitely do the announcement after the show in about a half an hour to an hour. Definitely shout out to all the women that have come on this month. We still have Senator Whitaker coming on tomorrow, and then we have another one coming on Wednesday. I definitely appreciate you guys coming on. Carrie Ann, Karen, I appreciate you guys always, helping us out, helping myself out, Pang out, and Tegan out, and I'm trying to work something together to give to all the guests that came on for this month. So that's something I'm working on, so I'm gonna just put it out there just to show the appreciation for them taking their time out of their busy schedule, to share their story, and the fact that they really dug deep and how I could put it, really expressed a lot of life changing situation and events that happened in their life, and they shared it with us. So I really appreciate it, because I know it's difficult for them to come on and share their story. Sometimes it's private, but they get it out. And I know some women, we help them getting out and facing their fear, doing a podcast and an interview, etc. So I definitely just want to show appreciation to them, because women go through so much, racism, sexism, and so much stuff that you guys go through. So I definitely just want to show appreciation, So I really appreciate all the women that have blessed the platform and share their story, So I definitely want to get that out there as well too.
Yes. Good, thanks.
All right, Kenya. So take us out.
So continue to do the good works that you guys are doing. We're getting everybody's story out there and just shining a light on other people in the community, out of the Virgin Islands. I think that's pretty dope what you guys are doing. Thank you for having me on the show. Once again, for anybody who wanted to find any of my music or my merchandise, the first place I would tell you to go to is my website at www.kenyaheartmusic.com. Again, www.kenyaheartmusic.com. That way you can support me directly. But if you prefer to go onto Amazon or Apple Music, you could go to any of the digital platforms and just type in Kenya Eugene, Kenya Eugene, and you can definitely find my music on there for download or streaming. I definitely appreciate all of your support. Look out for my new album, which is going to be coming out hopefully this summer, sometime this summer. It's entitled Color Me Reggae. And so we're looking forward to pushing out a lot of great works. The next single that I have coming out is entitled Bonnet, and it is channeling the spirit of like Queen Mary and all of the great men and women who sacrificed their lives for justice and equality and just pushing towards doing great things. And so definitely look out for that. And thank you for having me. Peace and love.
Awesome show.